rain-flooded street in Khan Yunis as residents tried to scoop water out of their tents. Displaced Palestinian Sabrine Koudi told the AP how her little daughters screamed as their tent filled with water. The excessive rainfall soaked all the mattresses, covers and blankets that her family slept on. The Palestinian Civil Defense has reported more than 2,500 distress calls because of storm damage. I'm Karen Shemas.
A strike called by Portugal's two main trade union confederations is causing severe travel disruptions, forcing the cancellation of medical appointments and classes. Tomorrow, it's Wreaths Across America Day.
Wreaths Across America has grown as a tradition since 1992. Donated green Christmas wreaths with distinctive red bows are set at grave sites by both families and volunteers to honor the lives of those who served our nation as well as their family members who are laid together at rest. The day features the arrival of 13 tractor-trailer trucks in the morning at our nation's most hallowed grounds, Arlington National Cemetery, across the Potomac River from our nation's capital. Similar events are taking place all across the U.S. The charity's website is Wreaths Across America, all one word, wreathsacrossamerica.org. George Williams, Washington.
Disney's investing $1 billion in OpenAI, bringing characters like Mickey Mouse and Luke Skywalker to the AI company's Sora video tool. 3-year licensing deal makes Disney the first major content partner for Sora. Townhall.com.
It's the Michael Patrick Leahy Show, broadcasting live from downtown Nashville. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Good morning, everyone. We are broadcasting live from our studios in Nashville, Tennessee. Folks, it's time for the Morning Rundown, which is brought to you every weekday at this time by our friends at the Glock Store, glockstore.com, located just a few miles from the airport right here in Nashville, Tennessee. So here we go. Here is the Morning Rundown for Friday, December 12th, 2025. Number one, a left-wing activist Obama judge has freed illegal alien Kilmar Abrego Garcia from an ICE detention center. He's now in the custody of his brother with some certain constraints in Maryland. We'll talk with Tom Pappert about this blatantly political anti-Trump decision this hour. Number two, weak rhino state legislators in Indiana voted yesterday against redistricting hardball and have rejected new congressional districts that would have given the GOP 2 more midterm seats in Indiana. How did this happen? I mean, the left is playing hardball everywhere they can, but these rhinos in Indiana cut a deal with the Democrat governor of Maryland. Yeah, he says, well, we're not going to push redistricting in Maryland. You can keep that one seat. So what's the change here? It's a net loss of a seat for Republicans. Donald Trump is unhappy about that. And we'll hear about that in a little bit. Number three, pillow guy Mike Lindell is running for governor of Minnesota. We'll have a few comments on that in a bit. He's running against Tim Walz. But he first has to get the victory in the Republican primary, which I don't think is going to be very easy for him. Number four, controversy over the whiny Democrat judges in Nashville who let a Somalian migrant off the hook a half a dozen times on various criminal charges. This Somali migrant subsequently raped a woman on the steps of a church here in Nashville, and she died a few hours later. They're all whiny because Andy Ogles is calling them out, Congressman. Number five, weak Republicans in the United States Senate, yes, led by Majority Leader John Thune, have embraced the very awful blue slip policy that allows Democrat senators to scuttle U.S. attorney and judicial appointments. Number six, Roger Simon will be here in hour 2. Number 7, Craig Huey in hour 3. Number 8, Democrats show their performative ignorance in hearings on immigration with DHS Secretary Kristi Noem. And number 9, a Democrat legislator called the murder of National Guardsmen an unfortunate accident. So here we go. That, of course, is the Morning Rundown, brought to you every day at this time by our friends at the Glock Store. You know, I want to talk about my good friend Lenny McGill and the world-famous Glock Store. I hope you got a chance to take advantage of the great Black Friday prices. But if you didn't, don't worry. The Christmas sales are right around the corner, and they will be phenomenal. They might be huge, as some people might say. And, of course, I'll let you know as soon as they start. But if you're looking for an excuse to visit GlockStore.com this very minute, I've got a great one for you. As you know, Lenny is not only known as that Glock guy, he's also known as the Glock giveaway guy. And for December, they have doubled down. Go to GlockStore.com and buy a tactical Christmas tree sticker or patch, or a red dot reindeer sticker or patch, and you're automatically entered to win either a G45 or G47, both nicely equipped, including with Vortex optics. Or go to GlockStore.com/VTGG, that's for Vortex 2-gun giveaway, and get the complete details, including the no purchase entry instructions. That's my good friend Lenny McGill and this month's Vortex 2 Glock giveaway sweepstakes, only at GlockStore.com. So there you go. Now, the Democrat, this guy is, he was the Democrat from Mississippi who was the chairman of the J6 committee for the Democrats. I think his name's Thompson, Benny Thompson, I think his name. He was questioning Kristi Noem, the Homeland Security Secretary. Listen to how he characterized the murder of that young National Guardswoman from West Virginia by an Islamist terrorist, an Afghan refugee, allowed into the country after the debacle of Afghanistan. Let's play this clip right now. Clip number 2.
Madam Secretary, you and the gentleman from NCTC reference the unfortunate accident that occurred with the National Guardsman being killed.
You think that was an unfortunate accident?
I mean,
It was a terrorist attack.
wait. Look, I'll get it straight. Then you can
He shot our
respond.
National Guardsman in the head.
Look, Mr. Chairman, will you direct the witness to allow me to ask my question? It was an unfortunate situation, but you blamed it solely on Joe Biden. I want you to know who approved the asylum application for this same person.
Mr. Thompson, this individual that came into the country.
No, I want to know who approved.
Congressman Thompson, I want you to understand.
No.
When this individual came into the country, he
I'm
came
not
under
gonna let you.
Evacuation of Afghanistan under Operation Allies Welcome, was thoroughly vetted by the Biden administration at that point in time, allowed into our country, and then was never followed up. I want to remind everybody in Congress.
Reclaim my time.
We follow the law, and every asylum is supposed to have a check-in every single year, and the Biden administration failed to do that. They vetted this individual, allowed them into our country, and did not do due diligence.
Witness will allow the gentleman to ask his question.
Yes or no? Who approved the asylum claim?
The application on the asylum was thoroughly filled out by information that was gathered by the Biden administration.
So the
His
Biden
asylum-
administration approved the asylum.
His asylum application was put into place under the rules established by the Biden administration.
Reclaiming my time. I don't want to file perjury charges against you, but I'm of the opinion that the Trump administration, DHS, your DHS, approved the asylum application.
The asylum application moved forward under all of the information and vetting processes that were put in place under the Biden administration, which is when vetting happened. And that's what President Trump has changed. Under President Trump's administration.
Reclaim my time again.
When
it's obvious you don't want to answer the question. Mr. Kent, you want a shot at it?
Okay, so this guy is axing a question of Homeland Security Secretary Noem, and he's obviously saying, oh, well, now it is true that the asylum request was approved, I think, in March or so this year. But think about this. It had all been set up under Biden, and March, the Homeland Security Department, you know, these asylum requests go through a very lengthy process in the executive branch, in the immigration courts, which are part of the executive branch, part of the Department of Justice. That actually is a very bureaucratic process. What he's trying to do is say, oh, Trump approved this guy's asylum, and we should blame Trump for this. No. What you're looking at is this lengthy process of bureaucrats who, as Noam pointed out, saw as sort of the Biden era setting up the system. Now, so we got that. Let's go to Trump right now. Clip 4. We got a little time. Trump talking about the Indiana vote.
It's funny because I won Indiana all 3 times by a landslide, and I wasn't working on it very hard. Would have been nice. I think we would have picked up 2 seats if we did that. You had one gentleman, the head of the Senate, I guess, Bray, whatever his name is. I heard he was against it. He'll probably lose his next primary, whatever that is. I hope he does, but because he's done a tremendous disservice.
Yeah, he's going to primary all these people. And look, for those Republicans who voted against this, they're going to lose their seats. When we come back, Tom Peppert will unravel this political decision by a left-wing judge to release the illegal alien Kilmar Abrego Garcia, who's been charged with human smuggling. Back after this.
These illegal skill games, they keep popping up. Fights break out. They're illegal. We got drugs. We got gangs. They're all over the place. How do you get illegal slot machines in convenience stores when Governor Youngkin, you vetoed it, and no referendum, nobody passed it? How are they still here?
At the end of the day, it is local Commonwealth's attorneys that have to bring the cases against the establishments and to get them out. And so, yes, I vetoed bills. The high court has said that they can't be there. And on top of that, our attorney general has done a full investigation. And we go back to our Commonwealth's attorneys in so many jurisdictions refuse to enforce the law. That's the bottom line. They protect the criminals at the expense of the victims. And that's why, again, elections matter. We have got to elect prosecutors who will put people in jail.
This ad paid for by Churchill Downs.
Is your pet ready for some possum fun? At Creekside Pet Hotel in Kennesaw, every day is a tail-wagging adventure. Whether they're romping with friends in day camp, enjoying a staycation in our cozy boarding, or getting pampered in our luxury spa, we make sure every furry guest gets the royal treatment. Happy pets, wagging tails, and the best care. What more could they ask for? Book your pet's perfect getaway today at creeksidepethotel.com or give us a call at 770-422-4700.
Attention construction pros. Purple Wave Auction brings quality equipment to your fingertips. Join our bi-weekly online auctions featuring dozers, excavators, loaders, and more. We provide detailed listings, photos, and seller contact info. Inspect online or in person. With our no reserve policy, every item sells to the highest bidder. Visit purplewave.com today and see why informed builders choose Purple Wave. Transparent processes, real deals. Your next great purchase awaits. purplewave.com.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/Mike.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-466-9625. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-466-9625.
I'm Lenny McGill, founder and CEO of Glockstore.com. For over 30 years, I've supported the Second Amendment rights of free men and women to protect themselves and their families with firearms. We offer the very best in both selection and prices on Glock handguns, custom Glocks, Glock magazines, and high-performance shooting accessories at Glockstore.com. We also have the finest retail showroom and our Shoot 270 shoot rooms right here in Nashville, Tennessee. Come visit us at Glockstore.com, and you'll be glad you did.
This is State Senator Mark Pouty. Government is limited to what it is supposed to do. One of the things that is critical that we're supposed to be working on is transportation. Here in Middle Tennessee, our roads need more help. As your state senator, we are focused on getting more money reoccurring without a new tax increase for our roads here in Tennessee. This is State Senator Mark Pouty.
Paid for by Campaign for Mark Pouty, Christina Hibden, Treasurer.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
We are joined on our Newsmaker line by our lead political reporter at the Tennessee Star and Star News Network, Tom Pappert. Tom, of course, along with Christina Botteri and yours truly, was awarded the Dow Prize for Excellence in Local Journalism, the best reporting in the country, local journalism. And it was on the issue of the arrest and the traffic stop of Kilmar Abrego Garcia in November of 2022 that no one else had reported till we reported it. And we, of course, reported that he had been ordered released by the Biden-era FBI. Tom, it's been a long and winding road of political lawfare from the left ever since. And yesterday, an Obama-appointed left-wing activist judge, Paula Zenas, in Maryland, kind of conjured up a legal reasoning to release Kilmar Abrego Garcia from an ICE detention center in Pennsylvania as he awaits trial on the federal charges of human smuggling. Her reasoning was distorted and highly political for the purpose, I think, of making it more difficult for President Trump to deport illegal aliens in the country illegally, especially those that are charged with criminal charges. Bring us up to speed. Where is Kilmar now? What was the order? And most importantly, why did Judge Paula Zenas claim that the final order of deportation entered into by an immigration judge in 2019 was apparently, in her mind, not legal? Your thoughts, Tom Pappert.
Well, Michael, if I may just very quickly start with your final question. This morning, Paula Zenas, this Obama-appointed judge, has doubled down, and she has issued a restraining order at the request of Abrego Garcia's immigration attorneys that now forbids ICE from attempting to deport him or arrest him or touch a single hair upon this Maryland man's head until she receives even more arguments. I thought the case was over, but apparently Judge Zenas did not get the memo. So yes, yesterday, Kilmar Abrego Garcia was released from custody following the order from this Obama-appointed judge. He is now being reported to be back in Baltimore with his family. Some reports say he's in the custody of his brother. Others have suggested he has been reunited with his wife, the same woman who accused him of assault, domestic violence years ago.
Not once, but twice he accused him of that.
Right. Plus, of course, her ex-boyfriend, ex-husband once accused him of being an MS-13 gang member. I mean, it's rather ridiculous when you consider all of the facts that he was allowed to go home. Just my opinion, of course. But Judge Paula Zenas, in her order yesterday, as you said, it seems to me she created a new line of legal fiction, where she said that because this judge, all the way back in 2019, David M. Jones, the same guy who might not know the difference between Guatemala and El Salvador, because he did not include the 4 words, "I order you deported," that the 2019 final deportation order that everybody everybody until yesterday has acknowledged is a final deportation order is not, in fact, a valid instrument of removal. And this is an insanely formalist argument that she quotes some cases that do not really apply to reach, but fundamentally what she has done here is create a new legal hurdle where all the illegal immigrants who do not have those 4 precious words in their final deportation order will now be able to go to a judge, just like Paula Zinnes, and have them say this is not a valid deportation order. By the way, this puts the government in an impossible position. They closed the immigration case back in 2019 when the final deportation order that Zinnes denies the existence of was signed. And just in October, another immigration judge of this year in October, another immigration judge said, we are not reopening this case. It was adjudicated fully back in 2019. It's been 6 years. You are out of luck, Mr. Abrego Garcia. That means there is no opportunity for the DHS to reopen this case to get the order modified to include those 4 words. Essentially, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, under the reading of the law created by Paula Zinnes out of thin air, can now not be deported. He cannot be detained. He doesn't get asylum. He just gets to live in the United States for the rest of his days, thanks to this Obama-appointed judge. It cannot stand.
Yeah, it will be appealed. But let's get into the legal distortion here by Judge Zinnes. So she's claiming, and she cites a couple of cases. One is Kwamba v. Barr, I think it's a 2019 case, where a Nigerian citizen was denied, wanted to come to the United States, was found and conceded in the immigration court hearing that I think it was he was in fact deportable, and asked for a withholding of removal. And I think it was under Convention Against Torture. I think that's what it was. And so he appealed that decision. That decision was appealed to the immigration, the Bureau of Immigration Appeals, and they said, well, you know, we didn't have an order, and therefore you got to go back and you got to send it back to the immigration judge, and he's got to issue that order. And it has to explicitly state you got to have the judge say that. Well, this is not comparable at all to Kilmar Abrego Garcia's case because he did not appeal that 2019 immigration ruling, correct?
Now, Michael, I have been combing through the available court transcripts, and Abrego Garcia did appeal on November 24th, or at least sometime before November 24th, but no judge has heard this appeal yet. There is one still substantial, and it's a big hurdle they cannot overcome, difference in this case. In the Kwambo case, the case was never closed. As soon as the judge released his decision that was a final deportation order in the eyes of the DOJ, what happened is Kwambo's attorneys immediately appealed. They didn't wait 6 years. They didn't have another immigration judge say, it's been 6 years, we're not reopening this. No, they immediately appealed within the statutory 30-day window that you have to appeal.
It's a 30 to 60-day window. 6 years is well beyond the statute for Kilmar Abrego Garcia. I mean, he didn't appeal within the statutory time.
That's exactly right. So I don't think that it is a one-to-one at all. In fact, I think if you look at the specifics of this is the final paragraph of the Kwambo case that Zinnes was citing. Because the Board of Immigration Appeals remanded his case, so they already took the appeal and made their decision on it, the Board of Immigration Appeals, to the immigration judge for background checks. The Bureau of Immigration Appeals order underlying Kwambo's petition for judicial review is not a final order of removal. As such, we lack jurisdiction to consider the petition. The government's motion to dismiss is granted, and Kwambo's petition is dismissed for lack of jurisdiction. So that is a completely different set of circumstances. Yeah. It could very well be the reason why 2 months have lapsed without the Bureau of Immigration Appeals accepting this case. It could be because they're not going to. They could consider it totally beyond the pale, being that it's been 6 years since it was decided.
It's statutorily timed out. I mean, that's just That's just an exercise in claiming they've appealed. Now, they cite another case, matter of IS and CS respondents before the Board of Immigration Appeals, which had some similar elements to it, and they claim when an immigration judge issues a decision granting an alien's application for withholding of removal without a grant of asylum, the decision must include an explicit order of removal. Now, that's interesting, right? Because this is an interim decision from 2008. She had to search long and hard to come up with this. But again, it doesn't apply because in that order, I went back and looked at this, in the immigration judge's order, in that case, it was the judge who found he was removable, different from Kilmar Abrego Garcia's case, because guess what? Kilmar Abrego Garcia conceded, his attorneys conceded that he was removable. That, to me, is consistent with an explicit order of removal. Your thoughts on that? We got a minute on this segment.
Well, I think that's right, and I'm sure we'll get into it in the next segment. What they're doing here, what Zinnes is doing, is making an extremely formalist argument, and she's making it to the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals, which on this very case, Kilmar Abrego Garcia has said they do not approve of such arguments because it would cause the laws to collapse under themselves.
Well, that's what she wants to do.
So I don't think it's going to work.
She wants to cause the laws to collapse. She wants all deportation halted, really, and she's usurping the authority of the executive branch by doing this. No question about it. When we come back, another of her claims about the validity of deportation orders. Back with Tom Pappert after this.
Now more than ever, it's imperative to support companies that share our conservative values. That's why I can't be more excited to tell you that I've switched my family to Patriot Mobile. Patriot Mobile is America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. When you switch to Patriot Mobile, you shift your support away from the leftist, woke, progressive agendas of Big Mobile. Patriot Mobile's wireless service works perfectly and seamlessly as you go about your lives with exceptional nationwide coverage that uses the same towers the main carriers use. Patriot Mobile donates a portion of every dollar earned to causes you care about, to organizations that fight for religious freedom, First and Second Amendments, sanctity of life, and the needs of veterans and first responders. Patriot Mobile has plans to fit any budget, along with great discounts for our veterans and first responder heroes, as well as multi-line users. Switching is easy. Just go to patriotmobile.com/Godzilla or call their U.S.-based customer service team, 972-PATRIOT. That's 972-728-7468. Use offer code Godzilla for free activation.
How much did you win at Rosie's Gaming Emporium?
Hi, I'm Jerry from Richmond. I won a $23,000 jackpot at Rosie's.
I'm Tammy. I'm from Newport News, and I just won a $5,400 jackpot from Rosie's.
Hi, my name is Kim, and I'm from Gloucester, Virginia, and I won $99,000 jackpot at Rosie's.
Are you ready? Learn more about Rosie's rewards and jackpots at rosiesgaming.com. Must be 18 or older. Problem gambling? Call 1-888-532-3500.
The math is simple. Every dollar we waste on unnecessary federal supervision is a dollar we can't use to fight violent crime. The Safer Supervision Act cuts bureaucratic waste and frees up law enforcement resources to protect families from serious threats. Law enforcement officers across the country and Republicans in Congress agree this is a smarter way to improve public safety. Stop the waste, protect our communities, fix federal supervision. Visit safersupervision.com to help. Paid for by the Reform Action Fund.
The Cats and Cosby Show.
It's the top news of the day.
John Catsimatidis and Rita Cosby tackle today's biggest issues with a New York state of mind.
We are going to talk about dirty money.
This is a total failure of the media, the journalists, and the Democratic Party.
Treat yourself to a bite of the apple.
It's a common sense recap of the big stories.
Cats and Cosby, weekdays 5 Eastern, 4 Central on the stations of the John Fredericks Media Network.
And those are the big headlines of the day.
Is your fur baby looking a bit rough? Transform them from shaggy to snazzy with Befur and After Pet Grooming in Marietta, Georgia. Their top-notch groomers pamper your pups with baths, custom cuts, and nail trims that'll have them strutting like show dogs. From mobile grooming vans to their cozy salon, they'll make your pet spa day a tail-wagging blast. Book now at BefurandAfterGrooming.com. Befur and After, where pets go from grr to glamorous.
My fellow Americans, I have to tell you about my good friends at D.T. McCall & Sons. They have furniture and appliances and a lot more. They've been family-owned in Middle Tennessee for over 100 years, and they're not going to rip you off. No hidden charges, no delivery charges, no charges for all of the crazy things. These are sick people at the lumber yards. These are very sick people. They charge you for cords and hoses and haul off. They charge you for all of these things. They call them hidden charges. It's the type of surprise that you don't want to see. It's like an October surprise, but it's worse. D.T. McCall & Sons, they're not going to do that. They're great people. They're going to give you a great deal. With locations in Lebanon, Carthage, Lafayette, Cookeville, and Franklin, D.T. McCall & Sons will give you the deal of your life. Check them out today or go to dtmccalls.com.
Impersonator not endorsed by Donald Trump.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
This federal judge in Maryland, nominated by Barack Obama. Her name is Paula Zenas now, but guess, Tom, did you check this, Tom Pappert? She was born Pangiata Zenas. That's her birth name, Pangiata. And somewhere along the line,
the poor woman went and got married and turned into Paula Zenas. Aside from politics, I think we can all say those are two very difficult last names.
Her first name, she was born Panagiata. That's her first name.
That's become the Paula. First name. Oh,
her last name is Zenas. I don't know if she's married or not, but the point is that if you look at her background from 1998 to 2011, she served as an assistant federal public defender. She's still doing that right now. She's not a judge. What Panagiata Zenas is doing right now is she is trying to, from the bench, usurp the legislative authority of Congress and rewrite 100 years of immigration laws and dictate what the executive branch should do differently, because she doesn't like what they're doing. That's basically what this is about. Now, let me take a couple examples here of this and get your answers to these questions. A couple claims. She's claimed that the 2025 visa that was issued to Kilmar Abrego Garcia to bring him back from El Salvador has resulted in an invalidation of that 2019 final deportation order from an immigration judge, which he did not appeal in a timely manner. And then she also claimed that a deportation order is valid only if it specifies the country to which the deportee shall be deported. This looks like making up stuff out of whole cloth. Kind of elaborate on that, if you would, Tom.
Well, it absolutely is. And both of these points are critical. To start with this new rule that an immigrant with a withholding of removal order, again, Abrego Garcia has it in the order written as Guatemala. Everybody says that the judge really meant to write El Salvador. You can make up your own mind at home. But this is a total legal fiction that it has to be spelled out in a final deportation order. And the evidence of this, it requires no more than knowing just a little bit of your recent history. This has almost never been done, the deportation to an accepting third-party country. El Salvador signed the first ever agreement in American history with the Trump administration earlier this year to begin accepting immigrants from nations that do not want them back. It was specifically done because Venezuela wouldn't accept their illegal immigrants back. And Maduro has only recently, now that he's got gunboat diplomacy party happening outside the palace window, he's only recently authorized more deportation flights to arrive. So in 2019, there was no procedure to identify a third-party country because the United States had no such agreements with third-party nations. This only came about during the second Trump administration. So Zinnes is going back in time and creating a new legal standard that did not exist 6 years ago and now applying it to this case in retrospect. It's simply, again, it's not going to stand. It's not realistic. And if she were successful, what this would do is make it so you can no longer deport an illegal immigrant to a third-party nation, because the overwhelming majority of illegal immigrants in this position are like Abrego Garcia. They were paroled into the country years ago because they were given a final order of removal, but then they were given a little asterisk where you say that you cannot go back to your homeland because of XYZ reason. Maybe they're authentic reasons. Maybe a judge just bought it because they're a liberal like Paula Zinnes. But then this other argument, this claim that Abrego Garcia now, this is something that was advanced by the defense at length, by Abrego Garcia's legal team, who was technically the offense on this case at length. They said that when Abrego Garcia was brought in, he was given a special type of visa, and that changes or at least modifies his immigration case. And Zinnes appeared to buy this. She wrote that he was paroled into the United States back in June when he came back, and in her note, she writes the following. When respondents returned to Abrego Garcia, they granted him a significant public benefit parole, which remains valid through June 4th, 2026. Notably, such parole is conferred for urgent humanitarian reasons or significant public benefit to a non-citizen applying for admission to the United States. The fact that Zinnes includes this in her order at all, I think, is simply a olive branch, yet another one, more like a bouquet of flowers to Abrego Garcia's legal defense team, which raised this out of the blue in their attempt to get the immigration case reopened. Of course, that was unsuccessful back in October. Now, however, of course, they are attempting to appeal that decision, likely is going to be rejected. But I think Zinnes is saying, look, immigration courts, I'm backing him on this. You should too.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, she should be getting a legal fee from the defense team. I mean, she's part of the defense team, right? I mean, she's not an unbiased judge. She is politically motivated here. And the objective is to make it more difficult to deport anybody. By the way, the total amount of money spent on his legal defense right now, where are we up to? 12 million? More than that? I don't know. It's pretty high. Pretty high. Okay, so let's take a look at this other claim that let's talk about let's go to this throwaway line she had about vindictive prosecution. If you didn't think that she was biased, she claims, oh yeah, they brought him back here to undergo, quote, vindictive, what this very controversial issue which looks to me like vindictive prosecution. I'm paraphrasing what she said. Tom.
I have it in front of me. And actually, it's funny you mentioned that. I have it in front of me because that's in the same paragraph where she acknowledges Abrego Garcia's insane argument about the special status visa. She writes the following. On June 6th, 2025, respondents paroled, quote unquote, paroled Abrego Garcia to the United States after securing a federal indictment in the Middle District of Tennessee, a matter that is itself under scrutiny for vindictive and selective prosecution.
Okay, so I notice in her order, Tom, she does not use or cite any of the reporting by the Tennessee Star that broke the story. She missed that.
No, of course not.
Okay. Now, let's talk about this whole canard of vindictive prosecution. So, because of all these manipulations of the legal system and the sabotage within the Department of Justice of this case by Erez Raveni, right, who has been crying and whining about getting fired, even though he did not serve his client, the United States government, well at all. Basically, what she's saying here is that oh gosh, this prosecution is vindictive. It's almost as if she's accepting that lunatic argument. Now, when we look at this, Tom, our reaction has been, we did not know until we broke the story earlier this year, while he was in El Salvador, legally deported, by the way. Okay, just going to tell you, everybody. That is one of the falsehoods of this entire media reporting on it. He's in El Salvador and been deported there. And then the news comes out that in November of 2022, he was pulled over by Tennessee Highway Patrol near Cookeville. We did a whole 60-minute documentary on why he was pulled over. He was speeding, he was weaving, and they pulled him over. And when they pulled him over and they looked at him, he was driving a vehicle, wait for it, owned by a convicted human smuggler. Number one. Number two, he did not have a valid driver's license. Okay. Number three, there were 9 people in that van. None of them spoke English or had any identifying information on them. Number 4, they all claimed they lived at his house. All right. That's just the beginning of all this. Vindictive prosecution. The Biden-era FBI called up the Tennessee Highway Patrol and said, release this guy. And they released him. Now, Tom, here's my point about all this. We are in a land right now where there is a privileged class in America, in the American legal system. It's illegal aliens. Illegal aliens are given far more rights than an American citizen. Look at this traffic stop. If this had been an American citizen driving that night near Cookeville, Tennessee, under the same circumstances, Tom, what would have happened to that American citizen?
I'll go even more narrow, Michael. I'm sure our audience has seen old episodes of Cops, or nowadays people watch Live PD, or some people watch YouTube videos of just police body cam footage. And Kilmar Abrego Garcia, at one point, was taken out of his vehicle. He was walked back to a police cruiser, highway patrol cruiser, and he was put in the back seat. And I would just invite everybody at home to think, how often do you see somebody go into the back seat of a police cruiser and then 45 minutes to an hour later, after the troopers call the FBI, be released? I had never seen anything like it before seeing this body camera video. 9 out of 10 times, if somebody is pulled over, they don't have a valid driver's license. They may have an unsafe number of people riding in the vehicle. The vehicle has been modified to fit this number of people. There are suspicious circumstances. We know the DHS thought this, or I'm sorry, troopers thought this. We know this from a DHS document. We know they suspected human trafficking under Tennessee state law, a little bit different than federal. We know all of this, and then they let him go. There is no way a single American citizen, unless it's a member of the Gambino family who is under federal surveillance, would have been let go in a similar instance. There is simply no earthly way that an American citizen would get the level of treatment from the federal police that Abrego got, or let alone the federal courts, the treatment he has received from judges like Paula Zinnes and Waverly Crenshaw.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. And, you know, they are going to, this is all hands on deck from the left. The amount of money and legal expertise they're pouring into this is basically designed to stop the deportation of illegal aliens and illegal alien criminals from the United States. Tom, when we come back, we got one last thing to talk about. Yeah, now she's claiming that Department of Homeland Security officials lied to her about whether or not Costa Rica would accept him. Where does that come from? And look, I think this is another example of her extreme bias against Donald Trump. Back with Tom Pappert after this.
In 2008, the amount of concentrated time people could spend on a task without becoming distracted was 12 seconds. 5 years later, it was only 8 seconds, 1 second less than a goldfish. If you're often distracted or have trouble recalling information, you're likely to fall behind in the demanding, fast-paced 21st century. In other words, brain performance is more critical now than ever. Boost your brain power with Healthy Cells Focus Plus Recall. Science-backed nootropics to help you sharpen focus, concentrate longer, enhance recall, improve mental speed, learn rapidly, and be more alert. It's a pill-free brain supplement made with maximum absorption ingestible gel technology, designed to feed your brain at the cellular level. Take it for a test drive. Go to healthycell.com and use code GODZILLA for 20% off your first order of Focus Plus Recall. That's healthycell.com, code GODZILLA for 20% off.
Get in. We're stealing homes. We're not like those other home criminals that steal your stuff. We steal your hard-earned home equity. We find your property online from the public record. Got it. Create a deed transfer that makes us the homeowners. Got it. Then borrow tons of cash against your equity, and you won't know till the foreclosure notice hits months later.
Just go to HometitleLock.com/Godzilla. Protect yourself.
Cold weather is here, and it's only getting colder. When you want instant whole room warmth, you go with Eden Pure, a trusted name for years on my show. Now they've done it again with the Eden Pure Gen 40 Plus infrared heater. This powerful compact unit gives you fast, even heat you can feel in seconds. Infrared heat warms you directly, not just the air around you, and it doesn't dry out the air. It's quiet, compact, and safe with multiple built-in safety shutoffs, and it heats up to 1,000 square feet. Perfect for the living room, bedroom, or office. And right now, Eden Pure is thanking our listeners. The Gen 40 Plus normally sells for $224, but Eden Pure is giving our VIP listeners an additional $50 off, bringing it to just $174. That's right, only $174 for state-of-the-art infrared heater. Now, this is a limited time offer with a strict limit of 3, and supplies are moving fast. So go to EdenPureDeals.com, use promo code Godzilla50. EdenPureDeals.com, promo code Godzilla50.
Is your fur maybe looking a bit rough? Transform them from shaggy to snazzy with Befur and After Pet Grooming in Marietta, Georgia. Their top-notch groomers pamper your pups with baths, custom cuts, and nail trims that'll have them strutting like show dogs. From mobile grooming vans to their cozy salon, they'll make your pet spa day a tail-wagging blast. Book now at BefurandAfterGrooming.com. Befur and After, where pets go from grr to glamorous.
Hey there, it's Lenny McGill, founder and CEO of GlockStore.com. For over 30 years, I've supported our Second Amendment rights with GlockStore.com, the world's #1 source for Glock handguns, parts, and accessories. I also support accurate, unbiased journalism like The Michael Patrick Leahy Show. His team broke the Kilmar-Abrego Garcia traffic stop and was the first to obtain that video. Independent journalism at its finest. Visit us at GlockStore.com, listen to Michael Patrick Leahy, and make America great again.
This is State Senator Mark Pouty. Government is limited to what it is supposed to do. One of the things that is critical that we're supposed to be working on is transportation. Here in Middle Tennessee, our roads need more help. As your state senator, we are focused on getting more money reoccurring without a new tax increase for our roads here in Tennessee. This is State Senator Mark Pouty.
Paid for by Campaign for Mark Pouty, Christina Hibden, Treasurer.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
Tom Pappert is still with us. Tom, so this morning, Judge Polizina said, you can't deport him anywhere unless I say so, basically, right?
Right.
But what's interesting, I think she's revealing her complete hatred for Donald Trump. And it seems egregious. She goes out of her way to demean, lecture, criticize every Trump administration attorney who appears before her. And now we got this issue of can he be deported to Costa Rica or elsewhere? Now, there's been a little bit of kerfuffle around it. To me, I've always thought that the best thing with that legal final deportation order in effect, the best deal for him would have been to deport him, to agree to be deported to Costa Rica. There was some back and forth about this. There was some gamesmanship that his attorneys engaged in. And I think my reading of it is they kind of blew up a plea deal that would have had him deported to Costa Rica. Do I have that right, or what are the details about that? And then let's describe how the judge claims, that the Trump administration attorneys lied to her in court.
Yes, of course. It first came about, the idea of deportation to Costa Rica, during plea deal agreements or negotiations, rather, in the Tennessee human smuggling case being prosecuted in the federal Middle District of Tennessee. And the way this went was Abrego Garcia's attorneys, they put out the emails now and filings. Abrego Garcia's attorneys said, we are interested in pursuing a plea deal. We want the conspiracy charge to be dropped. He would plead down to just one act of human smuggling on November 30th, 2022, as seen in body camera video alleged. And in exchange for this, he would get less than 1 year in a U.S. prison. Keep in mind, he spent most of this year in U.S. prisons. So it wouldn't have been very much more time. He'd be out by Easter in all likelihood. And at the conclusion of his sentence, he would be deported to the country of his choice. He specifically requested Costa Rica. Marco Rubio's State Department obtained a letter saying that they would take him. And the plea negotiations then abruptly broke down. He decided he didn't want the deal and instead was taken into ICE custody, where he was until yesterday.
So in the plea deal, our understanding is that he was all set up to go to Costa Rica in that plea deal, but then his attorneys backed away from the deal unexpectedly, right?
Essentially, yes. Yeah. They, at the very last minute, the emails show that the deal was essentially signed and ready to go. It had taken a month and a half of negotiations from essentially June, the moment he re-entered federal custody, until August 25th. And it was only on August 20, maybe 4th, 23rd, sometime in that very narrow window before his release and then being taken into ICE custody, when his lawyers sent an email to the prosecutors saying, well, we don't actually want to concede any criminal activity, and we want this and we want that. And that is when the DOJ said you have a final deadline of Monday.
They were not dealing in good faith, is the bottom line, it looks like to me. Okay, so now this judge is basically, interrogating every Trump administration attorney that comes before her. And now she's claiming that they lied to her about this. What's this claim?
Well, first of all, it's very rich to me that Paula Zinnes was doing all of this interrogation about Costa Rica when she didn't even consider this guy deportable in the first place. It seems like an exercise in political machinations more than anything else. But the argument was, well, after the plea agreement fell apart, the Trump administration started looking at other countries. They, of course, did Uganda, Eswatini, and finally settled on Liberia. Colony founded or place founded by former American slaves. They have an American Constitution. They modeled it after us. They said that they would take good care of Abrego Garcia as a refugee or otherwise a resident. He would receive the same type of benefits as he would in Costa Rica, in other words. But Paula Zinnes noted that Abrego Garcia said that he wanted to go to Costa Rica. That's despite also claiming he feared torture if deported to Costa Rica.
Did she not say, did they not present the information that we had a deal for Costa Rica and they nixed it? Was that not presented to her?
Yes. Now, it was redacted. Whatever the specifics of why it was nixed or how it was nixed was redacted from the public record. We don't know exactly what was said. We do know that a random minister in Costa Rica, after it was denied, told a couple national and international media outlets, oh, we would still take him. And that was then inserted into the record by Abrego Garcia's defense team, or his immigration team, I should say. And the Paula Zinnes took this as fact. She never heard from this person. She doesn't know whether this person can unilaterally make such a decision
or have
regarding
such
Abrego
authority.
Garcia.
Yeah.
But she takes it because it appeared, I believe it was specifically, in the Washington Post.
Why did she say that the government lied to her about Costa Rica?
Well, because the Washington Post reported, of course, Michael, that a Costa Rican minister said that they'll still take him, and the government said otherwise.
That was all her evidence?
Is
the government saying now that Costa Rica won't take him?
It's been the government's position that the story is more complicated than what has been presented publicly. We don't know exactly what the complication is because it's redacted because this is State Department negotiations.
All right, Tom Pappert. I know Monday there'll be a lot more going on this. What a politically motivated activist decision by an Obama judge trying to stop deportation of all illegals via this case. Tom Pappert, thank you for your great reporting.
Thank you, Michael. It's always a pleasure.
Up next, to make some sense of all this and of the world as it exists today, the one, the only, Roger L. Simon, the greatest writer in America today.
Is a record player the best way to listen to music? Of course not. So why are you still taking vitamins in pill form that haven't been upgraded since the 1930s? Even if you don't have trouble swallowing, most vitamins in pill form can't be absorbed very well. It's time to upgrade to the pill-free future of vitamins. Advanced nutrition company, Healthy Cell, created a patent-pending ingestible gel that is clinically proven to have 265% the absorption rate of tablets. These physician-formulated supplements come in a small gel pack. You tear off the top and shoot it down. You can also mix it in water. They taste great, they're convenient on the go, and they're more natural too, without chemical binders, fillers, and coatings. Go to healthycell.com and use code GODZILLA for 20% off your first order of any product. That's healthycell.com. HEALTHYCELL.com.
When you're learning something new, experience matters. At Lifestyles Unlimited, we've spent over 30 years teaching people how real estate investing works and how to build income with a clear, step-by-step strategy. Our program is designed to help you learn what to do, why it works, and how to take action at your own pace. Join today for just $297, a 60% savings off the regular price. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
John Fredericks loves his radio and TV audience, but did you know how to follow the Godzilla of Truth wherever you go? Download the John Fredericks Radio Show app to listen live nationwide. For the daily chit-chat, Trucking the Truth, download the Getter app and join the morning fun on Getter Live from 6 to 10 a.m. Follow John Fredericks on Getter, Truth Social, or Twitter at JF Radio.
This is WJFN Goochland, Barnard, Chester, and WJFV Portsmouth.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. I'm Rich Thomason. Some Republican lawmakers in Indiana have rejected a congressional redistricting plan supported by President Trump, causing anger among some political conservatives nationwide. But on the Salem News program this week on Capitol Hill with Tony Perkins, House Speaker Mike Johnson says, despite Indiana's action, he's still optimistic about next year's midterm election.
There's about 14 states at some stage of litigation right now. Most of the experts expect that the Republican Party will net a few seats, maybe 3 to as many as 7. So what any individual state does is kind of immaterial to me. I've got to win with whatever maps are ultimately produced, and I'm sure that we will.
Speaker Johnson's full This Week on Capitol Hill interview will be broadcast starting at 10 a.m. Eastern Saturday on the Salem News Channel. When it comes to battling Venezuelan-backed drug cartels, President Trump says he's set to take the fight from the sea to a new front, land.
They've treated us badly, and I guess now we're not treating them so good. If you look at the drug traffic by sea is down 92%, and nobody can figure out who the 8% is because I have no idea. Anybody getting involved in that right now is not doing well. And we'll start that on land, too. It's going to be starting on land pretty soon.
Kilmar Abrego Garcia has checked in briefly with an ICE field office in Baltimore before walking free. A federal judge ordered his release from custody. He's an illegal immigrant the Trump administration is fighting to deport. The White House says he's a gang member and a human smuggler. He denies it. The flood-battered state of Washington is under a state of emergency. 5 days of torrential rains in the Pacific Northwest have unleashed devastating flooding. It's destroyed infrastructure, washed away homes, forced tens of thousands of people to evacuate. Watching Wall Street, the Dow is down 138 points, the Nasdaq off 356. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hey, it's Mike Gallagher. The holidays are right around the corner, and you know what that means. Travel, gifts, family gatherings, and a whole lot of spending. Here's a way to get ahead of it all. Call my friends Mike and Brian and the team at Fellowship Home Loans. Rates have dropped again. That means you could refinance, lower your monthly payment, even skip your next 2 mortgage payments. That's right, 2 months with no mortgage payment. Put away the checkbook. Keep that money for the holidays. You won't be making any more payments till 2026. Maybe you're not looking to refinance, but you need access to cash. Well, Fellowship now offers their own HELOC and line of credit. Approval just takes a few minutes, and you can have funds in your account in as little as 4 days. Use it to pay off bills, finish a renovation, or simply get ready for the new year. Just go to fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, or call 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-6453. Fellowship Home Loans, mortgage lending by the book.
Nationwide Mortgage Bankers, DBA Fellowship Home Loans, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 819382.
Iceland becomes the 5th country to drop out of the Eurovision Song Contest because of Israel's participation.
This decision, announced on Wednesday, follows similar moves by Spain, the Netherlands, Ireland and Slovenia. The countries have withdrawn after organisers refused to expel Israel over its actions in Gaza. Iceland's national broadcasting service, RÚV, stated that neither joy nor peace will prevail with their participation in the competition. The walkouts have raised concerns about the future of the contest. The European Broadcasting Union recently met to discuss Israel's participation, but took no action to exclude any broadcaster. I'm Karen Chamas.
Ukrainian President Zelensky says negotiators are tackling territorial issues in U.S.-led peace talks with Russia. Discussions include the possession of Ukraine's eastern Donetsk region and the Russian-occupied Zaporizhia nuclear power plant. News and analysis, townhall.com. Borrowing for a home has gotten a tad more expensive.
Mortgage buyer Freddie Mac says the average rate on a 30-year mortgage rose this week to 6.22%. That's not far from its low for the year. The increase comes a day after the Federal Reserve cut its main interest rate for the 3rd time this year and indicated another cut may be ahead in 2026. While the Fed doesn't set mortgage rates, its actions are among the factors that influence rates on home loans. Several housing economists are forecasting that the average rate on a 30-year mortgage will remain slightly above 6% next year. I'm Alex Vega.
Fishing regulators are extending a shutdown on New England's historic shrimp fishing business, effectively shuttering the industry. The sweet pink shrimp were once a winter delicacy, and Maine fishermen used to catch millions of pounds of shrimp, but the business has been under a fishing moratorium since 2014. More on these stories at townhall.com.
It's the Michael Patrick Leahy Show, broadcasting live from downtown Nashville. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. I am beyond delighted to welcome to our microphones here in studio in Nashville, Tennessee, the greatest writer in American living in America today, in my view. I say that all the time, but it's true.
We'll bottle that and
no.
send it out to sea.
We will, yeah. Roger Simon, my former boss at PJ-TV, Academy Award-nominated screenwriter and author of American Refugees and the Substack of the same name. Just search Roger L. Simon Substack, and you'll get the latest. Roger, you are still a member of the Academy, are you not?
Yeah, I'm who knows if I'm on the, I'm one of the few members of the Academy that would be to the right of Trotsky. I mean, if you get their mailings, you'll know exactly what I mean, and I don't wish that on anybody. Anyway, it is, as you know, it's rolling up to the Oscar time of year. Now, one of the perks of being an Academy member, if you pay their oversized
annual fee,
is to you get a code and you can go online with most forms of TVs we have nowadays, and see any movie you want. And
kind of interesting. Now, to me, Roger, the value of that proposition has declined dramatically over the past 40 years.
Oh, no kidding.
Because the quality of movies seems to have really plummeted.
I would say 10 years.
Okay, I'm with you.
But yes, it's absolutely true. And, I'm thinking the reasons for it are several. One of which is obviously the wokeness. We know that.
Mhm.
That's become so tired as a complaint that I don't even want to make it, but it's there. Anyway, the other part of it, and discussing with your partner Christina here before the show, I realized that there is something that creates this kind of bad filmmaking, and that is the modern software. And what I mean by that is that anybody with a little bit of perspicacity can teach themselves how to edit a movie now.
Yeah.
It's not hard. And in fact, Apple stores all give courses in it in order to sell their software. It's like
Become,
it's not
film
a big
editor.
deal. It's not a big
Easy.
deal. Well,
Yeah.
now what this means is that every director who comes along also wants to edit his own movie or her own movie because they can do it. And now that creates a strange problem because, and I've directed myself, and I know this well. When you're on the set of a movie and you're trying to get shots, and then you get the shot and you got the shadow right and the expression right, and you're so proud of yourself, everybody's going on the set, it probably doesn't fit that well in the movie.
Yeah.
And now, what happened, or cannot? Anyway, you're sitting down as your own editor, and you're remembering how great it was on the set and how wonderful a director you were for getting that.
For getting that shot.
And then you won't take it out of the movie for love or money. Now, last night I watched one of these movies. One of the ones I really wanted to watch. It's called, I don't know if your listeners have heard of it yet. They'll be hearing of it. It's called Marty Supreme.
Marty Supreme.
And it's about a subject that is very dear to me because it sets in New York in 1950s, and it's about a guy who wants to become the ping pong champion of the world.
I like the premise.
Yeah, and based upon this guy Marty Reisman, a real character that I remember from my youth in New York, because I used to play ping pong.
Yeah. Okay.
And this guy Marty Reisman was a Jewish guy in New York who made it to the top of ping pong, and then sort of went anonymous because ping pong's anonymous. Anyway, but this movie has a great actor, one of the best actors of our time. This guy, Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah, he's very good.
Yeah, playing the lead, playing Reisman, but playing a different named Marty, something else, can't remember. But it doesn't matter. But the movie is filled with, what you could, on the edge of gratuitous violence in New York City, stuff that you don't believe. After a while, it goes on and on and on. Where was the editor? I used to work with really tough editors, and they would say no, and they do it, because they would be a judge of that. I mean, the director, who's actually a very skilled guy, named Josh Safdie, I think it is. Anyway, he's good, but he didn't exercise, so the whole thing sort of feels unreal, even though it's ultra real. It's a very weird combination of things.
So Timothy Chalamet is the star. It also co-stars Gwyneth Paltrow,
who is very good in it. The actors are all good.
Kevin O'Leary,
and Kevin O'Leary, who you know as a businessman.
Yeah.
Is excellent.
Really?
Yes. He plays the villain.
Kevin O'Leary is a good actor. That is amazing.
Well,
this is the guy on Shark Tank. Yeah,
yes,
the Canadian guy, bald
now,
guy.
Here's the secret of movie acting. Just be yourself. Don't act.
Yeah, because
if the minute you start to act,
the camera knows it, and you look like a schmuck.
So knows it, and so. O'Leary, who's been on TV a lot, as we know, has learned that.
Ubiquitous.
Yeah.
He's everywhere.
Yeah. And his voice on television is usually pretty decent.
He's an interesting fellow.
Anyway, he's very good in this movie. All the actors are good. That's not the issue. It is that it strains credulity in a lot of its violence, because it's the kind of violence you're saying, who's going to survive that? Anyway, And so it starts to feel gratuitous, and you kind of get bored.
I'm looking at the actors here. Sarah Bernhardt shows up again. She was all that like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And then also John Catsimatidis is in it.
Yeah. As I said, everybody, look, this guy Sopny knows how to handle his actors, and he casts well.
Do you know our connection to John Catsimatidis?
No.
He's a billionaire, right? Grocery store guy.
Yeah.
A very conservative guy. He has a show on the John Fredericks Radio Network from 5 to 6 every day.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And his daughter is the chairman of the Republican Party of Manhattan.
Right.
Interesting.
Yes.
So,
well, this is a movie that I don't know everybody's politics in this movie, but it is not the typical Hollywood woke crowd.
So
that's why I selected it. I see all these things. Here's one I want to see. I mean, some of them you could.
So Marty Supreme will be released. I don't know, later this month. It premiered actually at the New York Film Festival in October.
Yeah,
they do that like end of the year to get into the Academy Awards.
Yeah.
But what you're saying is, this film held your attention until when? How long into the film did you say?
About halfway.
Halfway through.
Yeah, halfway. And then
too much gratuitous violence.
Yeah, too much stuff. That repeated itself a lot because there's a lot of this guy acting out like craziness in New York.
So what you're saying is, although it was well acted, well directed to a point, it needed more editing.
It needed someone to come in. Years ago at Universal, I worked with this woman, now deceased, Verna Fields, who was an executive at the studio because she was such a great editor. I saw her edit. They used to edit on Moviola machines. They didn't edit on computers, which probably gave you a better sense of the rhythm of the real movie. But Verna would say out.
And a lot of people, we'll get to a little more of this.
She edited, by the way, Jaws, which is one of the greatest editing jobs.
You need a team to create something either journalistically or creatively, film-wise, entertainment-wise, because one person kind of misses some of these things sometimes. When we come back, Roger, I got a couple things. I got a couple entertainment things for you from my end. And then let's talk about this problem of lack of editing and craziness in journalism. Back after this.
Hey folks, Al Green here for SatPhone. When you're on the go, you want to know you're connected. If it's a family vacation or an off-the-grid escape to a remote destination, having reliable communication helps you feel safe and secure. You can't afford to find yourself in a dead zone. That's why you need SatPhone. SatPhones are reliable, durable, and give you global coverage. If you can get outside, you can get in touch. It's that simple. Make calls from your SatPhone to any regular cell phone in the United States. The phones are $1,500 value, but you can get yours free. Just sign up for a 15-month plan, $94.95 a month. Get 150 minutes monthly that roll to the next month. Go 3 months without using them, that's fine. Yes, 3 months, 450 minutes, all yours. Visit SAT123.com or call 855-980-5830. SAT123.com, 855-980-5830. Get surety and security with your SatPhone. Call now.
This past year has been one of the hardest in MyPillow's history. It's because of you that they're making it through. They want to thank you for your continued support by passing on some Christmas specials to our listeners. Get the Children's Bible Story Pillow 5-pack for $29.98. My Slippers with a free bottle of leather protectant spray for $39.98. Blankets, comforters, and duvets for as low as $25. And a blowout sale on the standard MyPillows for just $14.98. So go to MyPillow.com or call 800-854-0504 and use promo code Godzilla to take advantage of these wholesale prices, including the standard size MyPillow, originally $49.98, now only $14.98. Queens $18.99, Kings only $1 more. We know MyPillow products come with a 10-year warranty, but MyPillow has just announced that they are extending their 60-day money-back guarantee. That's right. Orders placed between now and December 25th will have their 60-day money-back guarantee extended through March 1st, 2026.
The Katz and Cosby Show.
It's the top news of the day.
John Catsimatidis and Rita Cosby tackle today's biggest issues with a New York state of mind.
We are going to talk about dirty money.
This is a total failure of the media, the journalists, and the Democratic Party.
Treat yourself to a bite of the apple.
It's a common sense recap of the big stories.
Katz and Cosby, weekdays 5 Eastern, 4 Central on the stations of the John Fredericks Media Network.
And those are the big headlines of the day.
Is your fur baby looking a bit rough? Transform them from shaggy to snazzy with Be Fur and After Pet Grooming in Marietta, Georgia. Their top-notch groomers pamper your pups with baths, custom cuts, and nail trims that'll have them strutting like show dogs. From mobile grooming vans to their cozy salon, they'll make your pet spa day a tail-wagging blast. Book now at BeFurAndAfterGrooming.com. Be Fur and After, where pets go from grr to glamorous.
I'm Lenny McGill, founder and CEO of GlockStore.com. For over 30 years, I've supported the Second Amendment rights of free men and women to protect themselves and their families with firearms. We offer the very best in both selection and prices on Glock handguns, custom Glocks, Glock magazines, and high-performance shooting accessories at GlockStore.com. We also have the finest retail showroom and our Shoot 270 shoot rooms right here in Nashville, Tennessee. Come visit us at GlockStore.com, and you'll be glad you did.
This is State Senator Mark Pody. Government is limited to what it is supposed to do. One of the things that is critical that we're supposed to be working on is transportation. Here in Middle Tennessee, our roads need more help. As your state senator, we are focused on getting more money reoccurring without a new tax increase for our roads here in Tennessee. This is State Senator Mark Pody.
Paid for by Campaign for Mark Pody, Christina Hibden, Treasurer.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
In studio, the very best writer in America, Roger L. Simon, my very good friend for many years. Roger, so I have a couple of entertainment stories I want to talk to you about. So we like to do entertainment a little bit where there's a connection between entertainment and politics. Or just entertainment and culture. And but we don't do a lot of it. But there are a couple of entertainment stories I want to throw out. One is about somebody you probably know in some regard. So, Ben Stiller, I think.
I lived 4 doors from Ben Stiller when I lived in L.A.
Okay, good. Now, and I he did this documentary about his parents, Stiller and Mira. I love Stiller and Mira when they were on Ed Sullivan.
They were great.
They
were more talented than their son. Ooh, it's true.
Here's the thing about they were a great combination because Anne Mira was Irish, so I related to her, Irish Catholic, and Ben was Jewish, but they were so funny on the Ed Sullivan Show. They were just a great combination.
They were great on the radio.
Yeah, they were really great. So, but Ben is, I like some of his work, actually. He did a film called Escape from Dannemora. I think I told you about that.
Yeah.
And he worked out the little school where my dad was a principal. No longer a school. They shut the school down in '88. And we'd long gone by that time. But they converted it to multi-use, and they had a little gym there. And my sources tell me that when he was filming in Dannemora, he went up and was working out of that gym. The other part about this, I think I told you about this also. The guys who escaped, they escaped from a manhole in a street half a block from the prison, a manhole that my father installed in 1963. Remember
personal
that?
Contact,
yeah, so
yes.
good person.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so Ben comes out, and Donald Trump, in his Donald Trump way, says, illegal immigrants from Somalia are garbage, and we don't need them. Well, I mean, there's all that billions of dollars of fraud. 81% of Somali migrants are still on welfare.
Yeah, no, Trump uses excessive terminology, but he's accurate in this general.
Bingo. Now, So so Ben Stiller puts out this, Somalis are not garbage.
Yeah, right.
You know,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everybody's a person, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, okay, Ben. So I sent him, I have invited him on the show to talk about his recent tweet. I said, I disagree with it. And then, you know, did a documentary about his parents and this film where I have a connection that's kind of interesting on that. When the phone didn't ring, I knew it was Ben Stiller. He's not going to show up.
Never do that.
Yeah, he would never.
He would never do that
Yeah.
because it's, you know, he thinks of himself as Oscar material.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we got that going on. Now, this is another. Occasionally, I get these emails from PR people, and I don't respond to most of them because it's like, you know, leftist stuff. I got this one from somebody who is a collateral descendant of the English author Jane Austen. And she's a great niece. She was the last person to grow up in the house called Chawton House, where Jane Austen grew up.
Right.
I'm going to have her on. That'll be interesting, I think.
Yeah,
Right?
I would think so.
I mean, Jane Austen actually...
She's a more interesting person than Ben Stiller.
Absolutely. Tragic a little bit in the way she died young.
Yeah.
But back to film.
A fantastic writer, no question.
A great writer who wasn't really recognized in her life. But the
now
films
is forever. Yeah.
I mean, the films are just there's so much Pride and Prejudice, you name it.
Yeah,
tons of films. Anyway, so that's my little foray into entertainment. But let's get back to this topic about the lack of editing, and particularly the troublesome thing going on in journalism today, asterisk journalism or look at meism, which is the growth of insane influencers who are get a following and promote lies.
Yeah, and some of them have been journalists or
at one time
quasi-journalists.
Former journalists.
Yeah, I don't know what defines a journalist. I mean, that's been thrown up, you know, into the air. But you know what we're living in right now is a society where people's insanity is rewarded.
Yes,
to a great degree.
If they're,
I mean, we're here in Nashville. A woman lives in this town who probably personifies that, Candace Owens. I mean, she's so insane that she's got millions of followers at the same time. She contradicts herself every day.
Yeah.
But they don't care. They just follow along. And it's a frightening phenomenon. It's quite frightening. Tucker Carlson has become quite frightening. There's no connection with reality. And I mean, if normally they would be thrown aside, but we live in a society where they're clung to because there's so much paranoia, so much, and it just feeds on itself. It grows and grows.
Yeah, I think, you know, if we were to actually look at sort of the mental health of America right now, there's a huge number of people in America who have serious mental health problems, and it's getting worse, I think.
Yeah, and this feeds it.
Yes.
I think a lot of it is partly created by this. I mean, okay, let's say Candace Owens is such a extreme case. Another one is MTG, who now has become best friends with Medea Benjamin, who I've met years ago, who was coming out of a Maoist, essentially. I mean,
it's really it's crazy.
It's all about
creating and promoting a personal brand.
The frenzy of renown.
Oh, that's a great phrase.
Yeah, that was the title of a friend's book years ago. But it was about France in the early 19th century. You know, about the kind of you can see how the French would be into that, but on a much more genteel level and less pervasive. I mean, this is more pervasive. If you look at Owens, one day she'll say, Israel killed Charlie Kirk, and the next day it's Egyptian airplanes.
It is.
I mean,
her claims about Charlie are just despicable.
Despicable and insane.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
why would Israel want to kill Charlie Kirk?
No crazy.
Well,
No,
she would say, "Oh, because he was about to say something bad about Israel." Oh,
Yeah.
There are so many people saying bad things about Israel. They've been taking machine guns to the United States. It's like,
There's no evidence. She's just making stuff
nothing,
up.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Evidence doesn't matter. But the scary part is it doesn't matter to her audience. I mean, if you go on,
She's got a lot of followers. She's like
Yeah.
4 or 5 million.
Oh yeah, and you go on X, and it's like, theoretically, we should all love Elon Musk for turning X into a free expression, and I do. I mean, obviously it was a government agency, but before he bought it. But then what's happened? It's interesting dilemma. It's not a simple question anymore about what's what's good and free expression, and what is in our time. The old thing about the First Amendment was it's great, but don't call fire in a crowded theater. That was the gold standard of what. But essentially, what we're having online now is fire in a theater every day, every 10 minutes.
Yeah, somebody's shouting fire in a crowded theater every 10 minutes. Yeah, and they get more followers for that, and then they can make money in various ways.
The crowded theater's 1 million people. It's not the 250 in the audience.
And it's worldwide. I mean, it's all and the guardrails for sanity have disappeared online.
Question. Now I'm going to throw a question at you and me. How do you fix this?
Well, that's a really good question. I think the free speech is here to stay. X is here to stay. I don't think you can fix it by regulation. I just don't think you can do that. It's a broader, longer-term way to fix it. And basically, you need more educated citizens who are less insane.
Well, what you're giving is a good version of the old saw, which was the answer to bad speech is more good speech. But I know.
Twisted. I know what I can see.
You know where I'm going.
I know.
I wish it were true.
When we come back, let's talk about how this craziness has infiltrated the political discussion. Case in point, Gavin Newsom. We're going to play a clip from Gavin when we get back.
Get in. We're stealing homes. We're not like those other home criminals that steal your stuff. We steal your hard-earned home equity. We find your property online from the public record. Got it. Create a deed transfer that makes us the homeowners. Got it. And borrow tons of cash against your equity, and you won't know till the foreclosure notice hits months later.
Just go to HometitleLock.com/Godzilla. Protect yourself.
Cold weather is here, and it's only getting colder. When you want instant whole room warmth, you go with Eden Pure, a trusted name for years on my show. Now they've done it again with the Eden Pure Gen 40 Plus infrared heater. This powerful compact unit gives you fast, even heat you can feel in seconds. Infrared heat warms you directly, not just the air around you, and it doesn't dry out the air. It's quiet, compact, and safe with multiple built-in safety shutoffs, and it heats up to 1,000 square feet. Perfect for the living room, bedroom, or office. And right now, Eden Pure is thanking our listeners. The Gen 40 Plus normally sells for $224, but Eden Pure is giving our VIP listeners an additional $50 off, bringing it to just $174. That's right, only $174 for state-of-the-art infrared heater. Now, this is a limited time offer with a strict limit of 3, and supplies are moving fast. So go to EdenPureDeals.com, use promo code Godzilla50. EdenPureDeals.com, promo code Godzilla50.
Ponder this.
Most of us are familiar with social media influencers. You know, people that claim expertise on some probably irrelevant topic. Many hours are wasted following people online who do not add an ounce of value to our lives. There is only one influencer who matters, and you should be following him and his messages every day. He holds the keys to our peace. He shows us how to live lives of meaning. He is there to help us carry our daily crosses. He is Jesus Christ, and he is the influencer extraordinaire. Are you one of his followers? Or are you wasting time with useless information that will not bring peace and love to your life? Ask the Lord each day to provide you with spiritual influence that will change your life forever. I'm Susie Kelly, and I am passionately Catholic.
Is your pet ready for some possum fun? At Creekside Pet Hotel in Kennesaw, every day is a tail-wagging adventure. Whether they're romping with friends in day camp, enjoying a staycation in our cozy boarding, or getting pampered in our luxury spa, we make sure every furry guest gets the royal treatment. Happy pets, wagging tails, and the best care. What more could they ask for? Book your pet's perfect getaway today at CreeksidePetHotel.com or give us a call at 770-422-4700.
My fellow Americans, I was this close, very close, to buying from the lumber yards. These are sick people. But I turned my head at the last second, and I saw a big, beautiful ad for D.T. McCall's. These are highly respected people. If I had not turned my head at the last second, I would have been ripped off at some lumber yard for $200 in hidden charges. And D.T. McCall & Sons are never going to do that. They'd never do that to you. These are great people. I've known them for a long time. They have great deals, and I just have to say, nobody knows deals like I do. D.T. McCall & Sons has locations in Lebanon, Carthage, Lafayette, Cookeville, and Franklin, and they have been family-owned in Middle Tennessee for over 100 years. These are tremendous people. D.T. McCall & Sons. Check out one of their stores today.
Impersonator not endorsed by Donald Trump.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
Roger L. Simon, the best writer in America, is here with us. Roger, I think Democrats have a game plan. And I think I'm going to call it aggressive, performative insanity.
Absolutely. There's a lot of that in there. And, of course, on the right now, there's a growing amount of it.
There's some on the right. On the fringe right. Yeah. Far even crazy. But let me give you an example of aggressive, performative insanity. And I would say there are many practitioners of that in the Democratic Party. Jasmine Crockett, AOC, Afton Bain. But also here, the most accomplished practitioner of aggressive performance insanity as of this moment is Gavin Newsom.
Well, he's the most dangerous one too.
Yes, let's play a little clip of him talking about how we got to. He wants more trans kids.
So we didn't get into trans sports. That's an issue no one wants to hear about because 80% of the people listening disagree with my position on this. But it comes from my heart, not just my head. It wasn't a political evolution. Your position being that I don't think it's. I want to see trans kids. I have a trans godson. There's no governor that's signed more pro-trans legislation than I have, and no one has been a stronger advocate for the LGBTQ community.
Okay, so let's talk about the trans thing, right? It's insane. It is not natural. Maybe, 1/1000th of 1%. Of people
born benefit for that. Yeah. No. It's actually quite sick. I think Newsom is kind of sick too. Mm-hmm. But when he says it's not political, it's totally political.
Totally.
Yeah. I mean,
look at how brave I am.
Yeah.
80% of you, don't.
He's playing a certain element in California, which is very large there, but. It may be diminishing. We'll see.
About 10 years ago, maybe a little bit longer, I had a conversation with a woman I knew from business school kind of, not directly, but knew of, who had been very successful in the technology field. And I think I was trying to interview her for Breitbart on a political issue. And the entire conversation turned into something entirely different. And I thought at the time, oh my goodness, what is going on in California? So one of her children had gone trans, and she was all in. Now, this is a very bright person. Very bright. Been very successful.
Oh, no.
In Silicon Valley.
That doesn't compute.
And yet they had accepted the insane position that their child, because of political, social pressures, were pretending their child was trans. Yeah. I knew right then we had a bit of a problem. I did not estimate. I misunderstood how great that level of widespread insanity would become.
Yeah, few of us could. What's interesting is how anti-science it is. And then that it comes up in Silicon Valley where people are relying on science for their billions. It's a very strange phenomenon about human behavior. But I think the pushback has been significant too against the kind of what we might call transmania.
I've not heard that term before.
I just made it up.
It's a very good term. Transmania.
Yeah. Sounds like Transylvania.
It's Transmania. That's what we're dealing with.
Transmania from Transylvania.
Somebody must have thought of that before, but it's
I haven't
original.
seen the new Frankenstein movie yet.
Yeah. So, within the world of Democrat politics, I think they all think that the way to win is aggressive performative insanity, except for John Fetterman.
Yeah,
right?
he's kind of like
at a national
level. They can't stand him.
They want to. Case in point, Jasmine Crockett. Now this is interesting because we talked about, let's say, in the influencer field, those who are insane get a lot of followers and are able to
make a lot of money.
Yeah,
that never forget. That's behind a lot of this, and it's terrible, but it's what it is.
So in Texas, you have Jasmine Crockett, who really has perfected the ability to be a performative, aggressively insane. Mm-hmm. She edged out a less crazy Democrat, Colin Allred, who's pretty crazy.
Who withdrew.
Because he realized
he couldn't out crazier.
That's really good.
Also,
he couldn't out crazier.
Also, it's easier for a woman to be crazy.
Why is that, Roger?
I think she wields her sexuality.
That's quite true, actually. Mm-hmm. Candace Owens.
Well,
look at the announcement of Jasmine Crockett. Yeah. All glammed up.
Yeah.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Pretending to be.
Yeah. They're like a dominatrix. No, seriously.
That's another twist on this thing. But,
well, no, I mean, that's behind a lot of stuff. I think in a way, Crockett will be a gift to the
I think so too.
To the Texas Republican
Party. Because she's so far out.
Yeah, that she won't play. I heard James Carville this morning.
Oh, you did?
Yes, telling her to dial it down.
No. He's 82 years old. She's not going to listen to him.
No, he's old news.
He's ancient.
Yeah, he's like me.
But he's not with it like you are. But the point is, so that she's not going to listen to him. No, because he's passé, and you got to be.
He's a Clinton person.
Yeah, who related to this? So, I think. This is really a very troubling thing. Well, why is it that clearly crazy people are getting traction?
And I think it goes back to our earlier conversation because there's a great similarity between Jasmine Crockett and Candace Owens.
Mm-hmm.
Attractive women who show that off and say outrageous things and get attention. Now, the question is, why are we giving them that attention?
Part of it has to do with the ubiquitous nature of social media, and the 1 minute, 2 minute attention span. But also, I think you weren't here for this, but I played earlier this week a clip from an 8th grade teacher in a southern state, a young woman, a purple-haired young woman, who I found out is minored in gender studies, right? So, okay. You obviously see the political angle. But she went on and has this great clip talking about most of her kids in 8th grade can't read, can't write, can't do arithmetic. They're at kindergarten level. They're at 2nd grade level. She said only 2 of 100 kids in her class are at grade level. But here is the thing that really struck me. She said, look, my kids, and she gave an example of the question of, the colony of Maryland. It was founded as a haven for Catholics, okay? And she was asking questions about that. She described it. They'd written notes on it. When she asked questions about it, here's what she said. These kids can see things, and they can write things, but they cannot process in their brain the things they see and write. And this purple-haired, left-wing 8th grade teacher is scared to death for our future because of that. And I tell you something?
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that right now. The rise of performative aggressive insanity and the decline of the ability of people to actually think and process logically is a witch's brew for the future of our country, it seems to me.
I can't argue with that in the slightest. In fact, I think the rise of AI and the fact that you don't have to learn anything by yourself anymore is going to make that worse and worse. And and the fact that people are having relationships with AI, the young kids, who are lonely, like a lot of them are.
Yeah.
Have these relationships with ChatGPT because these AIs are programmed to be your friend.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously they want you coming back. It's business.
And that's happening a lot now.
Oh,
lonely kids.
And that's going to add up to more anger and craziness because AI doesn't love you. It loves your money. It loves your attention.
And delivers to you that which will keep you coming back.
Exactly.
Yeah. You see, by the way, speaking of film, some film director has created an entire AI person. And that person is...
But that's going to become extremely common.
Yeah.
I mean, that's I wouldn't want to be an actor going up to... This guy, Chalamet, is great.
Mm-hmm.
But, he may be the last of a dying breed.
I'm not so sure about that, but I'm not going to weigh in all that significantly on it.
People are going to want to see it on stage and so forth.
Right.
But, in the movies, people are, producers and directors are going to want more and more control. And, and also make it cheaper and cheaper. You don't have to pay... You create a AI actor that can be as good as, you name it, Humphrey Bogart or whatever.
And you don't have to pay him $100,000 a day.
Yep, no. And you don't have to deal with their BS. I mean...
What? Actors have BS, Roger? As a director, I think you're going to say...
Yeah, you got another 3 hours and I'll tell you some stories.
But in a way, that BS is a part of the fun of being human.
Of course.
In a way, yeah. Right?
Of course.
All right, when we come back, Roger, talking about mental health problems. The head coach of the University of Michigan.
Oh, okay.
He's got a real mental health problem and a lot of other problems. And it's not good. We'll talk about that. Yeah. Well, former head coach. He's been fired.
Yes.
But there's some elements of that seem weird.
Yeah, there's some things we don't know yet.
Exactly. Okay. We'll be back with Roger Simon after this.
These illegal skill games, they keep popping up. Fights break out. They're illegal. We got drugs. We got gangs. They're all over the place. How do you get illegal slot machines in convenience stores when Governor Youngkin, you vetoed it and no referendum, nobody passed it? How are they still here?
At the end of the day, it is local Commonwealth's attorneys that have to bring the cases against the establishments and to get them out. And so, yes, I vetoed bills. The high court has said that they can't be there. And on top of that, our attorney general has done a full investigation. And we go back to our Commonwealth's attorneys in so many jurisdictions refuse to enforce the law. That's the bottom line. They protect the criminals at the expense of the victims. And that's why, again, elections matter. We have got to elect prosecutors who will put people in jail.
This ad paid for by Churchill Downs.
The math is simple. Every dollar we waste on unnecessary federal supervision is a dollar we can't use to fight violent crime. The Safer Supervision Act cuts bureaucratic waste and frees up law enforcement resources to protect families from serious threats. Law enforcement officers across the country and Republicans in Congress agree this is a smarter way to improve public safety. Stop the waste, protect our communities, fix federal supervision. Visit safersupervision.com to help. Paid for by the Reform Action Fund.
The Cats and Cosby Show.
It's the top news of the day.
John Catsimatidis and Rita Cosby tackle today's biggest issues with a New York state of mind.
We are going to talk about dirty money.
This is a total failure of the media, the journalists, and the Democratic Party.
Treat yourself to a bite of the apple.
It's a common sense recap of the big stories.
Cats and Cosby, weekdays 5 Eastern, 4 Central on the stations of the John Fredericks Media Network.
And those are the big headlines of the day.
This is Crom Carmichael, CEO of Salty. We got a wonderful email from one of our customers up east named Joe, and here's what he had to say. I started taking Salty almost out of desperation with little hope because I was resigned to the futility that although I was up to taking 2 statins a day, high cholesterol was something I just had to learn to live with. In fact, when I turned 60, after taking a stress cardio test, my doctor called me on a Saturday, which of course is never a good sign, and told me that I was clogged more than 95% of the people my age. I had an angioplasty and a stent procedure done at that time. Today, my stubborn triglycerides are only 1/3 of what they had been before starting taking Sol-T. My prescription statin dosage has shrunk from 60 milligrams to only 10 milligrams a day. My primary care doctor that I have had for many years still can't believe the results, and neither can I. Thank you, Sol-T, for providing such a wonderful product. And folks, I want to invite you to take care of your heart also by going to GodzillaHeart.com. That's GodzillaHeart.com. Use the code Godzilla at checkout, and you'll get a 50% discount on your initial shipment. Thanks so much.
Hey there, it's Lenny McGill, founder and CEO of GlockStore.com. For over 30 years, I've supported our Second Amendment rights with GlockStore.com, the world's #1 source for Glock handguns, parts, and accessories. I also support accurate, unbiased journalism like The Michael Patrick Leahy Show. His team broke the Kilmar Abrego Garcia traffic stop and was the first to obtain that video. Independent journalism at its finest. Visit us at GlockStore.com, listen to Michael Patrick Leahy, and make America great again.
This is State Senator Mark Pody. Government is limited to what it is supposed to do. One of the things that is critical that we're supposed to be working on is transportation. Here in Middle Tennessee, our roads need more help. As your state senator, we are focused on getting more money reoccurring without a new tax increase for our roads here in Tennessee. This is State Senator Mark Pody.
Paid for by Campaign for Mark Pody, Christina Hibden, Treasurer.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
Welcome back. The best writer in America, Roger L. Simon, here with us in studio. Roger, we've been talking about mental illness, and societal problems, and nothing kind of combines all of that more than this recent, unbelievable story coming out of the University of Michigan.
It wouldn't have been unbelievable to Leon Tolstoy or to Anna Karenina.
Now, that's a good point, Roger.
There'd be no novel in history without adultery. But anyway.
So, Sharon Moore was the head coach at the University of Michigan. He's only 39 years old. He was a protege of Jim Harbaugh, who left to coach the San Diego Chargers in the NFL. And he took over a Michigan team that had won a national championship. He was 8 wins and 4 losses in his first year. They beat Ohio State.
Yes, big deal.
He's 9-3 this year, but they lost to Ohio State. Well, that's not a bad record.
No,
for a Big Ten coach.
Yeah,
it's not a great record, but it's not a bad record.
Yeah, he makes $5 million a year for that.
He signed a 5-year contract for $5 million a year with bonuses.
Yeah,
but headline from the New York Post just about 50 minutes ago: Sharon Moore's sex scandal was Michigan's worst-kept secret. Former Michigan head coach Sharon Moore's alleged misconduct has been widely known among university employees during the last 2 seasons, with him at the helm. Multiple sources told CBS News Moore, age 39, was fired with cause Wednesday for engaging in an inappropriate relationship with a staff member, and he was detained by Pittsfield police later that day for an alleged assault. Now, this gets into a very uncomfortable area, because the guy was married with 3 kids, and the alleged staffer involved was a young woman, very attractive, who was his executive assistant.
Yeah.
In 2024, she was making $58,000 a year, and in 2025. She was making $90,000.
Yes, yeah, that's part of the story. I think you read over what is, I think, the very significant part is that it was well known by people at executives at the University of Michigan. That is really bad, and I predict that heads are going to roll all over the place out of this.
It's not just that. Because you're right on point on this. It seems to me, because over the summer, they apparently asked the assistant and the coach, there's something going on here, and they denied it. But apparently now what happened, the guy he got fired Wednesday afternoon because Wednesday morning the assistant came in with receipts, text messages, emails, etc., which were undeniable. And so, but here's where I would fault the athletic director there. Because clearly this guy had mental health problems, in addition to behavioral problems of that type. But the guy fired him in his office with no security there, and with no provision for for protecting the young staffer who had brought in these allegations early in the morning. And then, according to sources, what happened after that, Roger, is the coach just melted down. Yeah. And apparently had a confrontation with his wife, apparently then went to the apartment of this young woman, and apparently had a knife, apparently threatened her. These are the reports. And then threatened to kill himself, and then ran away and got caught. It was, a big mess. But don't you think, Roger, that the executives there, if they'd know, back to your point, there was all sorts of expectations that something was going on here that wasn't good.
Yeah.
And they didn't address it until
the real question. Obviously this guy's nuts, but how high the cover-up went. And I think it went probably very high, much higher than what you were talking about. And it has a lot to do with real problem in our higher educational system, where the football team is more important than the education.
It's interesting you say that, because this even goes back to like 1900. when there was this big controversy about whether or not you should have competitive athletics. And some schools chose not to because it would totally change what schools were about.
Yeah.
And as it turned out, there could be, as you point out, elements of, well, it's National Signing Day. You don't want to interrupt that.
Yeah.
There's all the alumni NIL money involved. It's a very complicated, very
Plus
big business.
giant stadioms to fill, and
Yeah.
I mean it's industrialized. Look, I enjoy watching football. Not as much as a lot of people, but I enjoy it. But I understand the appeal. But I think that it's undermining the whole. It's a ridiculous system that we're in,
and it's undermining the culture, I think.
Yeah.
Is your point, Roger? It is always a delight to have you here. Lots of fun, lots of interesting things to discuss that you really can't hear on pretty much any other radio program. So thanks so much for joining us today.
So.
We'll be back with more after this. He's Roger Simon, Roger L. Simon. I'm Michael Patrick Leahy.
The John Fredericks Radio Network is your home field advantage for Pittsburgh Steelers NFL football. Every play, every game, all season long.
Looking left and right, takes it, drops, waits, turns and fires, and this one is caught for a touchdown in the front of the end zone, and it's Max Sperlman.
John Fredericks Network is your home for Pittsburgh Steelers football. Hit johnfredericksradio.com/sports for schedule and game time.
Ready to turn your idle equipment into cash? Purple Wave Auction is your solution. We specialize in no-reserve online auctions, bringing nationwide buyers to your doorstep. From excavators to dozers, we'll market your assets to a vast audience of eager buyers. No hauling required. We photograph and list your equipment where it sits. Experience our transparent and simple process with expert support. Join successful sellers who trust Purple Wave. Visit purplewave.com today to learn how easy selling can be.
The Katz and Cosby Show.
It's the top news of the day.
John Catsimatidis and Rita Cosby tackle today's biggest issues with a New York state of mind.
We are going to talk about dirty money.
This is a total failure of the media, the journalists, and the Democratic Party.
Treat yourself to a bite of the apple.
It's a common sense recap of the big stories.
Katz and Cosby, weekdays 5 Eastern, 4 Central on the stations of the John Fredericks Media Network.
And those are the big headlines of the day.
John Fredericks loves his radio and TV audience, but did you know how to follow the Godzilla of Truth wherever you go? Download the John Fredericks Radio Show app to listen live nationwide. For the daily chit-chat, Trucking the Truth, download the Getter app and join the morning fun on Getter Live from 6 to 10 a.m. Follow John Fredericks on Getter, Truth Social, or Twitter at JF Radio Show.
This is WJFN Goochland, Bonaire, Chester, and WJFB Portsmouth, part of the John Fredericks Media Network.
Breaking news at Town Hall. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. The Utah man charged with killing Charlie Kirk made his first in-person court appearance on Thursday as his attorneys push to further limit media.
The 22-year-old Utah man charged with killing conservative activist Charlie Kirk made his first in-person court appearance.
Court is now in session.
Tyler Robinson arrived with restraints on his wrists and ankles. His legal team and the county sheriff's office asked Judge Tony Graff to ban cameras in the courtroom. The judge said no to the ban.
The sanction for today is that this camera will be relocated away from defense table to where the bailiff is.
I'm Ed Donahue.
The Justice Department intensifying efforts to uphold election integrity by ensuring accurate and current voter rolls. Harmeet Dillon is the Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights and says many states are complying, but not all.
Georgia, the Secretary of State, Raffensperger, has told me to
go play into traffic effectively. So we are going to be suing Georgia. We're drafting that lawsuit up. And
Dylan made her comments on the Scott Jennings Show on the Salem Radio Network. A provision in the National Defense Authorization Act would allow military helicopters to fly through airspace around the nation's capital without using the most precise tracking system. That strung the ire of NTSB Chairwoman Jennifer Homedy.
It represents an unacceptable risk to the flying public, to commercial and military aircraft crews, and to the residents in the region. It's also an unthinkable dismissal of our investigation and of 67 families who lost loved ones in a tragedy that was entirely preventable.
A military-involved crash near Washington Reagan National Airport back in January left 69 dead. More from townhall.com.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard joining MediShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true. People are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network, so yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE. 833-34-BIBLE.
Here's Rich Thomason with a midday Wall Street Business Report.
The cost of borrowing for a new home has gone up a bit.
Mortgage buyer Freddie Mac says the average rate on a 30-year mortgage rose this week to 6.22%. That's not far from its low for the year. The increase comes a day after the Federal Reserve cut its main interest rate for the third time this year and indicated another cut may be ahead in 2026. While the Fed doesn't set mortgage rates, its actions are among the factors that influence rates on home loans. Several housing economists are forecasting that the average rate on a 30-year mortgage will remain slightly above 6% next year. I'm Alex Vega.
Wall Street worries persist about a potential bubble in artificial intelligence technology, despite another strong earnings report from the sector. This week, the Dow is up more than 1.5% as the NASDAQ treads water. I'm Rich Thomason.
Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. Iceland becomes the fifth country to drop out of the Eurovision Song Contest because of Israel's participation. Here's correspondent Karen Chamis.
This decision, announced on Wednesday, follows similar moves by Spain, the Netherlands, Ireland and Slovenia. The countries have withdrawn after organisers refused to expel Israel over its actions in Gaza. Iceland's national broadcasting service, RÚV, stated that neither joy nor peace will prevail with their participation in the competition. The walkouts have raised concerns about the future of the contest. The European Broadcasting Union recently met to discuss Israel's participation, but took no action to exclude any broadcaster. I'm Karen Chamas.
The Trump administration is criticizing the comment of the House Homeland Security Committee's top Democrat regarding the recent shooting of two West Virginia National Guard members in Washington, D.C., which they refer to it as an unfortunate accident. More on these stories at Town Hall.
It's the Michael Patrick Leahy Show, broadcasting live from downtown Nashville. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. We are winding up the week. This week, what were we, just 2 weeks before Christmas? A little less. It's 2 weeks from yesterday, I think. Do I have that right? No. 2 weeks from Wednesday. Yeah, 2 weeks from yesterday. There we go. We'll be joined at the bottom of this hour by a good friend, the best database marketer in the country. Craig Huey will join us, and he has some thoughts on activist judges, which seems, but I repeat myself, right? Except for the Supreme Court and certain circuit courts of appeal. In the federal arena, we have a lot of activist judges. If you want to weigh in, by the way, our number is, wait for it, 615-814-2848, 2848. Tell our producer, Patrick, 3 things. Number 1, your name. Number 2, your state of residence. And 3, your topic. I'm going to talk about some stuff in the next half hour, but you are welcome to talk about or suggest anything you want to talk about. I don't think, we get into our discussions here on various topics. I don't think I repeat that call-in number enough, 615-814-2848, 615-814-28, because I know the great Howie Carr, who's been doing talk radio for, 40 years now? The talk radio king of Boston. You listen to his show. It's a 4-hour afternoon show, which I love listening to. He says the call-in number like about 20 times an hour, I think. You can watch us, by the way, at Roku TV, YouTube, Fire Stick TV, and Apple TV. We haven't not quite yet on Rumble, but go ahead and do that. 615-814-2848, 615-814-2848. 1, your name. 2, your state of residence. And 3, your topic. Love to hear from you. Okay, I've got some topics here I'm going to talk about. It's all of a theme. The first topic has to do with, there's some Republicans who are not really all in. And they should be, because the Democrats are all in to stop the Make America Great Again agenda of Donald J. Trump. And, of course, cases in point, yesterday, this Weasley decision by, it looks like it was like, how many? A little more than half a dozen GOP legislators in Indiana, where in Indiana, they have a total of 7 congressional districts represented by Republicans and 2 by Democrats. And the game plan here is the Democrats are playing hardball, and they're going to redistrict everything to, get rid of as many Republican districts as possible. Case in point, in Massachusetts, where I think about 40% of the voters voted for Donald Trump, there are 9 congressional districts, not a single one of them, represented by a Republican because they've been gerrymandered. Political gerrymandering is okay. It's a standard. It's been approved by the Supreme Court. Gerrymandering that changes votes based upon racial identity, now that's illegal. But that's not what we're talking about here. Anyways, in Indiana, the state Senate, the House of Representatives passed this redistricting bill that would have given 2 more seats to Republicans, but the state Senate defeated it 31-19. Yikes, that was like a stomping. What happened there? Well, the Rhino Republicans in a state Donald Trump won, 60% plus, cut a deal with the governor of Maryland, a Democrat, and said, we won't redistrict if you won't. Well, what's the net of that? There's only 1 Republican in Maryland, only 1. And they lost these 2 they would have added for Republicans in Indiana. So it's a negative 1 there. Now, there's another example of this to talk about, and that's this thing that we've talked about with our very good friend Mark Pulliam. It has to do with what's called a blue slip. What is a blue slip? Okay, this is a tradition of the Senate having to do with objections to the appointment of federal judges or U.S. attorneys in particular areas of a particular states represented by a Democrat. So in a blue state, for instance, like let's say Virginia, the president can appoint a U.S. attorney, but they, by tradition, have to be Senate confirmed. The blue slip policy allows the senator from that state, be it a Democrat or Republican, to issue a blue slip saying, I don't want this guy confirmed or this woman. And as a result, this impedes the president's ability to have his own team as U.S. attorneys. And it's the same for federal district court judges. Now, Mark Pulliam has said, we got to pink slip the blue slip because otherwise, the left is going to obstruct the appointments of the Trump team, And then when they get power, if they get power back, they're just going to ram through all of their people. That's really the problem. Now, John Thune, the majority leader of the Senate, is the guy who could ram through the end of the blue slips. Guess what? He's not going to do it. Let's play that clip right now. Clip 1.
By asking Senate Majority Leader John Thune, a fantastic guy, to get something done, ideally the termination of blue slips. Too many great Republicans are being sent packing. None are getting approved and signed, President DJT. Can you explain to people just real quickly what a blue slip is, and are you going to do something that will deal with his concerns?
Well, this is something that applies just to district court judges and U.S. attorneys, and it allows individuals, the senators from those states, to be able to sign off on the people who are nominated to those positions. That doesn't apply to circuit court judges, obviously doesn't apply to Supreme Court judges. And we have moved his nominees through the process at a record rate. We will, by the end of this year, have a record number of his nominees approved to the executive branch. Got his cabinet confirmed at the fastest rate possible. We'll continue to work on the judiciary, Dana, but this is a procedure that's been in place for a long time that both Republicans and Democrats support, because it gives them some input, particularly in those judges, the judicial appointments that are made in their individual states, some input into that decision-making process.
So you don't anticipate changing it?
I don't think it's going to change. It's been in place for a long time, and like I said, there are Republicans on the Judiciary Committee and off the Judiciary Committee, for that matter, who support this and support it strongly.
All right, Senator John Thune, thank you.
Okay, so bad move, Senator Thune. Why are you doing that? Don't you realize, don't the other Republicans in the Senate realize that this is the existential threat to our country? Yeah, look at the U.S. attorneys that there've been all sorts of in blue states that have problems being confirmed because of this blue slip policy. Yeah, Alina Habba in New Jersey, U.S. attorney there, was not confirmed because of the blue slip policy. U.S. attorneys in Virginia have not been confirmed because of this blue slip policy. Also, you got to exercise the blue slip. And Democrats are eager to exercise it. Republicans are reticent. They don't play hardball. They get rolled by the Democrats. And the long-term consequences of that are very bad. Let's look at this whole district court thing. Paula Zenas, the activist Obama-appointed judge, who basically said, let's let this illegal alien Kilmar Abrego Garcia free, and due process. Well, we're going to invent new due process rights for this guy, but he's going to have more due process rights than any American citizen ever has. Why she gets in, but in a blue state, you can't replace him because if there's an opening. Because of this blue slip policy, you can't bring in a Trump judge. Very bad news. Hey, we'll have more when we get back. Stephen K. Bannon has a few words to say about this. We'll be back after this. I'm Michael Patrick Leahy.
Hi folks, John Fredericks here for Freedom Alliance. Veterans are still struggling with the wounds of war. They came home with injuries that changed them forever. The flag-burning troublemakers in our streets remind me how fortunate we are to have patriots who served and fought, sacrificed, and never complained. We need to support them through organizations like the Freedom Alliance. It's Military Appreciation Month and time to support those who serve. Freedom Alliance is caring for combat veterans and military families. Combat veterans fought in the worst, most dangerous places on earth. Freedom Alliance takes them to nature's most relaxing locations so they can heal. Freedom Alliance gives injured troops mortgage-free homes, new cars, and all-terrain wheelchairs. For wounded vets, there's nothing like the stability of your own home, the reinsurance of a reliable vehicle, or the independence of a wheelchair that navigates snow, ice, beach, pasture, or most any terrain. Let's fight for those who fought for us. Go to freedomalliance.org/Godzilla and make a monthly gift that will improve the life of a military hero. That's freedomalliance.org/Godzilla. Make a contribution today.
If you're like me, most moms find it difficult to prioritize self-care. Hi, it's Colleen, Program Director at the John Fredericks Media Network. With the demands of programming 13 radio stations, it's easy to forget about the things I should do for myself daily. And that's why I started with our company's Women's Challenge with Native Path Collagen Peptides. It's affordable and convenient care in just 1 scoop a day. There are so many incredible health benefits like bone and joint support, metabolism booster, and hair, skin, and nail improvement. I like to take a moment each day to prioritize myself and indulge in the health-boosting benefits of Native Path Collagen Peptides. I love mixing it up with all the different smoothie recipes, too. Learn more about Native Path Collagen Peptides and read 7 important reasons why you should be taking collagen peptides at getnativepath.com/Godzilla. Prioritize your self-care with Native Path Collagen Peptides. Try it risk-free for as low as $21 today and get free shipping at getnativepath.com/Godzilla.
Target.com. Target.com is an online e-commerce tire retailer. We are here to serve the American public with the best possible customer service, the best pricing, and we make it extremely easy. We have many name brands and a lot of low-cost tires. The price is right, and it's easy. You go online to Target.com, Tireget.com, Target.com. You go there, you put your zip code in, all the inventory displays right in front of you. You can call in for help if you want to. We'll help you get the tire that you need. But we will take the tires you buy and at no extra charge deliver them to the dealer right by your house where they will be installed at the market price. It's easy. The best price, the best service. Great people to deal with. Thank you for going to Target.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
And welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Our phone number is 615-814-2848. 615-814-2848. If you want to call in, we need 3 words from you. Number 1, your name. Number 2, your state of residence. And number 3, your topic. 615-814-2848. Okay, my topic right now is something Stephen K. Bannon said yesterday, which I think is probably true. Let's play it. Clip 21.
I believe the Democratic Party is as close to a terrorist organization as you can get, and if we start doing the real investigations of this, they will be designated a terrorist organization. What they've done to the United States, they plotted more so even than Muslim Brotherhood and CARE, right? And all these Islamic radical terrorist organizations, which are bad enough, and we got to get to the bottom of and get them out of the country. These people organized an invasion of our country. We got 15 to 20 million illegal alien invaders here that have destroyed the country, destroyed the economy, have destroyed the education system, particularly in inner cities for folks, destroyed the education system, the healthcare system, law and order, sanitation, and they specifically brought in people that would not acclimate to our culture and our society. And could not be assimilated, did not want to be assimilated, and we're going to be arrogant about how they were not assimilated.
Yes. 15 to 20 million illegal aliens, invaders here in the country. And I think the Democrat Party absolutely wants to have those illegal aliens here. That's their game plan. Illegal aliens disrupting the country who don't assimilate. And I think we'll talk about this with Craig Huey about the activist judges in our next segment. But the recent decision by Judge, Pangiata, was her birth name, Pangiata Zenas, the Obama-appointed judge, who said, that illegal alien, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, who was an alleged human smuggler, we're just going to let him go free. I'm going to make up a new law to do that. This is what the Democrats are all about. This is what they want. They want to destroy our country and replace our culture with the culture of third world hellholes. Now, an example of the attitude of these Democrats, here in clip 5, remember this congresswoman, her last name is MacGyver? Don't think of it about the television show. No, she is from New Jersey, and she's the one who forcibly entered an ICE detention facility and was arrested and charged. I think the charges have been dropped. But just watch and listen to her questioning in a House committee hearing yesterday, her questioning Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. Clip 5.
So I'll ask you this. Is Trump embarrassed by your tenure, or is this exactly the kind of god-awful leadership he wants at DHS? Yes or no?
Hold on, pause just a minute. I'll ask you this. Really? I'll ask you this? Congresswoman MacGyver, the word is ask, A-S-K. But, okay, let's continue with the clip.
Ma'am, we've already conducted more oversight visits.
No. It's a yes or no. Yes or no. Okay, Secretary Noem, this is my time to talk, not your time to talk. I reclaim my time. I reclaim my time.
Okay, so let me just stop. These are stupid people who hate America, who are in, I called it, aggressive performance insanity mode. This is another example thereof. Let's continue with this, performance by Congresswoman MacGyver.
Time.
Transparent
Chair, I reclaim my
we've ever
time.
had.
Secretary Noem, DHS is breaking the law, hiding information from Congress, and shutting out oversight. So let me ask you, how can the
Whoa. Okay, it's not a mistake. It's not a bug. It's a feature. Let me ask you. She's representing a district in New Jersey in Congress. It's ask, Congresswoman. A-S-K. That's the word in the dictionary. All right, let's go.
Can people trust your department with you at the helm with this kind of behavior?
The American people absolutely trust this department to keep them safe. And we are showing that every day by the support we get across the country, the amount of people that we're recruiting to all of our different agencies.
Thank you, Secretary Noem. Do you agree that using DHS resources to target members of Congress is an abuse of power?
Excuse me, would you say that
You
again?
would have heard me if you stopped talking and listened to my questions.
Crazy,
Do you agree that using DHS resources to target members of Congress is an abuse of power?
We are not doing that. We are out there enforcing the law, doing our work, and we are allowing oversight.
Of course, we're not going to get any answers. With that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back. Let's start with the basics.
Okay, so, stupid people, arrogant, angry, performative. That's the Democrat Party. Now, what are the consequences of this? This is a very stunning call from a listener to C-SPAN. Now, let me just talk a little bit about C-SPAN, the cable satellite public affairs network. I wrote when I was an adjunct professor in entrepreneurship at the Owen Graduate School of Management in the 90s, late 90s. I wrote a case study about how Brian Lamb founded C-SPAN. And I was a big fan of C-SPAN. And so I did the case study. Brian came in and he was listening, spoke to my class about it. Big fan of Brian Lamb. I was working on a book about it, but I just couldn't make it work. And so I went on, and years later I wrote Covenant of Liberty about the Tea Party movement. But what's interesting about this is Brian Lamb is basically retired. He's kind of a retired executive chairman now. And Susan Swain, who's a very nice person, was there, and she's retired. They got a new CEO who comes from CNN. Dun, dun, dun. You know where this is going. C-SPAN today is not what it was when I was a big fan of it. I mean, I'll watch some stuff, but it's kind of, it twists left. It really does. Here is, I think, an irate C-SPAN caller calling in about the growth of illegals and the impact on healthcare, and it giving a hard time to, I think, a Democrat member of Congress from New York State. Here we go. Let's play this clip right now.
Let's talk to Dennis next in New York, Republican line. Go ahead, Dennis.
Yes, I'm a veteran collecting Medicare.
I've been trying to get cholesterol and blood pressure medicine under the Biden administration since 2021 to 2024. And I always had a hard time getting a prescription refilled or anything else. It got to the point I actually went down to the office in Western New York Medical. The whole room was filled with illegal immigrants going in and out. I couldn't even get to the counter to get a refill on prescription cholesterol and blood pressure medicine. Anyhow, long story short, a month ago, I was rushed into the hospital with heart failure and that, and I get there, and for the last 6 months, I come to find out that I got kidney failure and congestive heart failure. Not one doctor from Western New York Medical called to notify me. They knew about this for over a year, and now here I am, and I listen to you Democrats saying that illegal immigrants weren't collecting Medicare and it wasn't hurting the American people. I'm dying right now because of them illegal immigrants getting in line before me, and our medical system and our healthcare system didn't even call to notify me to let me know about this a year ago. Do you have a response for your party and what they're doing to the American people?
Well, let me say I'm sorry for your health problems, and you should have gone to your member of Congress and asked him to help intervene for you with Medicare, but Biden's gone, so let's talk about what you can do in the future. As far as blaming on the immigrants, U.S. law says that immigrants do not qualify for Medicare. So
okay, so she's lying there. She's from Nevada, not from New York. But okay, so we got that going on, and look, this is the problem. And I'm telling you right now, what is it that all these leftist judges at the federal district court level and in blue cities and every single Democrat except for John Fetterman, the senator from Pennsylvania at a national level, and the mayor of Memphis, Paul Young, what are they doing? They are creating a two-tiered level of residents of this country. At the top, the ones who get the most benefits and the most privilege are illegal aliens. And at the bottom are American citizens. This is the problem we have right now. And what is the game plan for Democrats? The game plan, now that Donald Trump has shut the borders, the game plan for Democrats is to keep as many illegal aliens in the country as possible, and to do it by whatever means necessary. That's why you see these organized protesters trying to intervene and stop and obstruct ICE officers who are deporting illegal alien criminals and illegal aliens. By definition, you're an uncharged criminal if you're an illegal alien, because it's a misdemeanor to cross the border illegally, right? That's what the game plan is. I'm sorry to say that we've got to stop this. Our country is going to be at a point of existential crisis. When we come back, we'll talk with our very good friend Craig Huey, and we'll be talking about really the activist judges in blue cities, blue states, and at the federal district court level. Back with Craig Huey after this.
EJ Haast here, founder of the Digital Footprint Management Agency and frequent guest on the Michael Patrick Leahy Show, here to tell you about GetFoundEverywhere.com. Customers are searching for your business everywhere: Google, Apple Maps, TikTok, and new AI platforms like ChatGPT and Gemini, which is a total disruptor. Traditional search engine optimization isn't dead, but it is on life support. Old tactics don't work anymore. So how can you make your business stand out? GetFoundEverywhere.com makes your business pop on over 50 search, map, review, and AI-driven platforms. With one easy dashboard, manage business profiles, social media accounts, direct messages, even texts and reviews. GetFoundEverywhere.com is affordable, boosts your visibility, and gets your business more customers. It's time to step up your game the easy way. Save time, save money, and get more customers with GetFoundEverywhere.com.
This is State Senator Mark Pody. Government is limited to what it is supposed to do. One of the things that is critical that we're supposed to be working on is transportation. Here in Middle Tennessee, our roads need more help. As your state senator, we are focused on getting more money reoccurring without a new tax increase for our roads here in Tennessee. This is State Senator Mark Pody.
Paid for by Campaign for Mark Pody, Christina Hibden, Treasurer.
I'm Lenny McGill, founder and CEO of Glockstore.com. For over 30 years, I've supported the Second Amendment rights of free men and women to protect themselves and their families with firearms. We offer the very best in both selection and prices on Glock handguns, custom Glocks, Glock magazines, and high-performance shooting accessories at Glockstore.com. We also have the finest retail showroom and our Shoot 270 shoot rooms right here in Nashville, Tennessee. Come visit us at Glockstore.com, and you'll be glad you did.
My fellow Americans, my good friends, I've known them for a long time, at D.T. McCall & Sons have the deal of a lifetime for you, and nobody knows deals like I do. That much I can tell you. Nobody knows deals like I do. The lumber yards, they can hit you with hidden charges for up to $200 extra. They'll charge you for cords and hoses and haul-offs. Your money goes all over the place and out of the state, and most importantly, out of your pockets. How do they get away with that? I don't know how they do that, but on day one, if you buy from McCall's, we are going to stop the hidden charges as soon as you buy it. D.T. McCall & Sons has locations in Lebanon, Carthage, Lafayette, Cookeville, and Franklin, and they have been family-owned in Middle Tennessee for over 100 years. Head to one of their stores today or check them out at dtmccalls.com. You're going to love it, believe me.
Impersonator not endorsed by Donald Trump.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
We are delighted to welcome back to our studios our very good friend, Craig Huey, who not only is Craig an expert on database marketing, best expert in the country, by the way, and a proud resident of state income tax-free Tennessee.
No
former
regrets,
California.
love it.
But you're also the president of a group called JudgeVoterGuide.com.
Correct.
How long have you been doing that?
For over 25 years now,
Wow.
we've been evaluating a judge because, Michael, probably the most dangerous thing to our republic, the most dangerous thing to our freedom are the judges. Right now, we have judicial activists, and we'll define this, but we have judicial activists that are part of what is the resistance against Trump. And so a judicial activist, can I describe it?
Sure,
Okay.
please do.
Here's the easy thing to think of. A judicial activist is not a real judge looking at the constitutionality or legality of a law. A judicial activist is one who takes his own ideological positions and tries to impose it upon the people. They're acting like a super legislature in robes, and it's not democratic. What it is, it's an abuse of power, but it's ideologically driven. And we have a crisis. We have a crisis here in America.
Oh, well, and nothing illustrates that more than the abuse of power and the attempt to usurp legislative immigration statutes that have been on the books for 100 years than the recent decisions by the judge Pengiata, now calling herself Paula Zenas.
Yes.
The Obama-appointed judge.
Yes.
Who made stuff up.
Yes.
And kind of applied precedent that didn't apply to create an argument to free illegal alien Kilmar Abrego Garcia.
Michael, she doesn't care about what is legal or not legal, what is constitutional or not constitutional. She cares about an outcome that she has the power to control. And that is the problem. So everyone knows there are the appointed judges by the president, and there are the elected judges, usually on the local and state level.
So let's talk about that. Judges in the federal judiciary.
Yes.
There are 3 levels of judges.
Correct.
At the lowest level, there are about 600 federal district court judges.
Yes.
And they serve in 94 districts. Here we have the District of Middle Tennessee,
yes.
for instance. And they are appointed by the president.
Yes.
But they must be confirmed by the Senate.
By the Senate. Yep.
So we've got about 600 of those judges. Then we have about 13 circuit courts. If you lose in the trial court, then you get to appeal it to the Circuit Court of Appeals. There are 13 of those.
Yes.
And then at the top level, there's the Supreme Court.
Yes.
These are all appointed by the president.
They are
and confirmed.
And what we need to think in terms of is this: the judges themselves, if they're ideologically driven, you can pretty much see who appointed them. So if we take a look at how many judges in the federal level that Trump appointed, the number is 260. 3 of them are Supreme Court.
So now back to the numbers. Okay.
Yes.
So we're looking at 600 federal court judges.
Right.
Probably about 200 Circuit Court of Appeals judges,
Yes.
somewhere in that range.
Yeah, yeah.
And 9 Supreme Court justices.
That's right. 596 were appointed by Obama and by Biden. And when you talk about the Supreme Court, Obama did 1, and Biden did 1, and Obama did 2. So what we're talking about are unelected, appointed judges for life, appointed by radical left-wing judges appointed by the president. And when you're dealing with this, that's where we see the state attorney generals in blue states.
Right.
We see these legal groups like with Mark Ellis and these other radical left
Democracy
lawyers.
docket.
Yes. These people shop a judge because they can identify who's going to decide on their behalf. And so right now, Trump does an action, it's paralyzed. It's the whole idea of paralyzing the progress economically, politically, on the immigration level, variety of things. They're looking at anything to create the resistance.
Yeah, no question about that. Now, any federal court, any federal judge, district judge,
yes,
appeals court judge, or Supreme Court, they have a lifetime appointment.
They do.
What a cush job that is.
And to try to get them out is almost an impossibility. It takes an act of Congress, and good luck with that.
Literally an act of Congress.
Yes.
The House must impeach them.
That's right.
And the Senate must convict them.
And when's that going to happen?
Well, it has happened 15 times in American history.
Yes.
Judges have been impeached.
Yes.
Only 8 times have they been convicted and removed.
Right.
And basically the standard is, have you committed a crime?
Yeah, and it's when you have a division in Congress like we have between Republicans and Democrats, there's no way you're going to get rid of them. Ted Cruz and a few others have been trying to impeach a couple of the worst of these judges. But
James Boasberg.
Yes, and it's just not going to happen because of the makeup of Congress.
I think they may be able to impeach because you only need a majority vote.
Yeah.
But conviction, unlikely,
right?
Because you need 2/3 to convict. Now, that's federal judges.
Yes.
So you don't really need a judge voter guide for federal judges.
No, you do not. It's the local and state. And it depends upon the state. Some are appointed and then they're elected. Some are directly elected. And the radical left has concentrated over the last 20 years. While Republicans and conservatives have been asleep, the radicals have recruited, financed, and elected local judges that are radical, that have a left-wing perspective. And Michael, right here in Tennessee, whether you're in California or Tennessee, the judges are trying to legislate from the bench, and these are people that are elected. Where are the conservatives? Where are the Republicans? Where are the pastors and the Christians? Where are they in stopping these judges that are legislating from the bench on a local level? They're asleep at the wheel.
A little bit of caveat on that.
Yes.
Your point is well made. Let's take a look at the recent case.
Yes.
Here in Nashville, Davidson County.
Right. Good example.
Now, Nashville, Davidson County itself, it's about 65 Democrat, 35 Republican, although I think the Republicans are getting even less and less these days.
Yeah.
As it's become a center for lunatics to arrive. I mean, if you're a lunatic and you live in Tennessee, you naturally migrate to Nashville.
And I've got to add, they are organized.
Yes.
They get out their base, they get out their vote, and the Republicans don't.
Now, the various levels of judges here at the local level,
Yes.
state judges, general sessions judges,
Yes.
Where criminal cases can come up or
Right.
civil cases can come up. There are, in Davidson County, there are 11 general sessions judges.
Yes.
There's also Chancery Court judges.
Mm-hmm.
I'm familiar with Chancery Court judges, by the way.
Yeah,
in Davidson
you are
County.
very personally. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I can tell you that one of the concerns that I have, if you're a conservative, I can promise you, you will not get a fair shake from a blue city
That is
judge.
a powerful statement. You won't get a shake. It's not fair. It's not objective. It's not a judge. It's somebody who, again, is driven by ideology, not the law.
So let's take this case in point here. In Nashville, Davidson County, a couple months ago, a Somali migrant
Yes.
by the name of, wait for it, Mohammed A. Mohammed.
Whoa. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who had been brought before 6 different general session judges
Yes.
in Davidson County on a
Yes.
variety of criminal charges.
Yes.
I don't remember all of them, but they're exposing themselves, sexual
Right.
assault,
Right,
other
right.
DUI,
Yes.
etc. All 6 of them
Yes.
let the guy go.
I know.
All 6 of them.
That's right. And because that's part of their ideology, we look at it as being soft on crime. They look at it as a form of justice and equity.
Well, let me tell you who didn't get justice and
Yes.
equity from these judges. Mohammed A. Mohammed, after he'd been released multiple times by General Sessions Court judges in Davidson County, one night saw a woman in distress on the steps of a church.
Mm-hmm.
And his idea of helping her was to rape her.
Yes.
She died a couple hours later.
Yes.
And this is the same guy that had been put off the hook
Right.
by these liberal judges
That's
in Davidson
right.
County.
Yeah.
Now, that is an elected position, but
Yeah, it is.
Democrats always win.
And that should be grounds for people to not vote for that judge. But I guarantee, unless things change, that judge will be reelected.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Now, let's go on to the other things about this. So, our friend Andy Ogles.
Yes. Who spoke truth.
Who represented the 5th Congressional District.
Yes.
Basically called them out.
That's right.
By name.
Yes.
And he said in that we are at war against criminals.
Right.
He didn't say we're at war with you judges.
Yeah.
But they're pretty whiny.
Yes.
And they got all in a huff.
Yes.
And all 11 of the judges
Yes.
issued a statement.
Yes.
That mean old Andy
Yeah,
Ogles, Governor Lee, you better tell him to not criticize us.
Yeah.
Well, I got news for those guys. You know, he's got every right to criticize them.
He does, but the media took it, and they pretty much took the judge's side. And a lot of people who don't quite understand what's going on, they're hearing this and they think, how irresponsible of Andy to do this and put these judges in danger. Well, the fact is, Andy's exposing the judicial resistance. He's exposing the fact that they're political activists on the bench. They're legislating. They're also endangering the public.
Yes, they are indeed. But they're all bent out of shape.
Yes.
Because they're kind of creating this, oh, you're putting us in danger. No, you're not.
Yeah.
They're not. They want to be victim. I'm shocked that a Democrat judge in Davidson County, or all of them, consider themselves victims.
Of course they do.
Oh, my gosh.
Yep.
But, okay, so where do people go? JudgeVoterGuide.com?
They can go to JudgeVoterGuide.com, JudgeVoterGuide.com, sign up. They'll be able to get alerts about the judges in their county. and see how they should vote for or not against their values.
Well, if there's a D next to him, don't vote for him. Right? I mean,
right.
They are beyond completely insane,
Yes.
it seems to me.
Yes.
Okay, again, the website?
JudgeVoterGuide.com.
JudgeVoterGuide.com, and this is for state and local judges in which state?
Nationwide.
Nationwide?
Yes.
Oh, not just Tennessee.
Not just Tennessee.
All right. When we come back, Craig, can you stick around? Because it's going to be time for News Potpourri.
I'll be honored.
Back after this.
This is Tom Carmichael, CEO of Soul Tea, a supplement to help you have a healthier heart and stronger cardiovascular system. At Soul Tea, we regularly get emails from our customers telling us how Soul Tea has helped them. Like this one from Kelly. Hello, I'm 58 years old and have had high cholesterol for years. I wanted to stay away from prescription drugs. My husband and I have been using Soul Tea for about 13 months. My results have been amazing. My cholesterol levels went from 291 to 129. I am so impressed with Soul Tea and want to thank you. Now, in my own case, my bad cholesterol dropped from 130 to 89, and that was 20 years ago. I'm 75 years old and I take 0 prescription drugs. To get a great deal on Soul Tea, please go to GodzillaHeart.com, and when you check out, use the code Godzilla to get our best deal, which is 50% off your first shipment and then 3 bottles for the price of 2 thereafter. You don't have to live with a broken heart.
Do you suffer from
Try
declining
Soul Tea
bone and
today.
joint health? Hi, it's Tina with the John Fredericks Media Network. And when I heard about our company's Women's Challenge, I jumped on the opportunity to test this amazing supplement that's already restoring my bone density, soothing my joint pain, and helping me regain lost mobility. I've experienced so many benefits in such a short time with Native Path Collagen Peptides because they support my bones and joints, boost my metabolism, and unleash the most radiant skin and hair since my 20s. In just 2 weeks, my knee stiffness is gone, and I'm already hitting the gym more aggressively. And I get so many compliments on my glowy skin and shiny hair. Native Path Collagen Peptides are so easy to take. They're tasteless, odorless, and mix great with my morning coffee. Read thousands of 5-star reviews at getnativepath.com/Godzilla. Level up your self-care with Native Path Collagen Peptides. Try it risk-free for as low as $21 today. And get free shipping at getnativepath.com/Godzilla.
In 2008, the amount of concentrated time people could spend on a task without becoming distracted was 12 seconds. 5 years later, it was only 8 seconds, 1 second less than a goldfish. If you're often distracted or have trouble recalling information, you're likely to fall behind in the demanding, fast-paced 21st century. In other words, brain performance is more critical now than ever. Boost your brain power with Healthy Cells Focus Plus Recall. Science-backed nootropics to help you sharpen focus, concentrate longer, enhance recall, improve mental speed, learn rapidly, and be more alert. It's a pill-free brain supplement made with maximum absorption ingestible gel technology, designed to feed your brain at the cellular level. Take it for a test drive. Go to healthycell.com and use code GODZILLA for 20% off your first order of Focus Plus Recall. That's healthycell.com, code GODZILLA for 20% off.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. In studio, our very good friend, Craig Huey. Craig, you know, it's that time of day again.
Yes.
It's time for News Potpourri. You still like that music, don't you?
I love the music. It
Everybody
just gets you all ready.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, News Potpourri. This is the portion of the program we talk about those stories that are of note, don't necessarily merit a full segment, but may have a touch of
irony.
Very good, yeah. By the way, I think I'm going to ask Pat Sajak to come in sometime to do this. Don't you think?
I think you definitely have to do that.
He would love that.
Yeah.
There is a crazy person in the Democrat Party. Well, they're almost all crazy.
Yeah, I was going to say that might be too narrow.
They're all crazy.
Yeah.
Except for John Fetterman. Jasmine Crockett wants to have ethical guidelines for Supreme Court justices.
So, Michael, what are ethical guidelines?
We'll find out. Let's hear from Jasmine right now.
And the only body that has oversight over the Supreme Court is the United States Senate. So ultimately, when it comes down to whether or not they have to finally have some ethics about themselves, because they are the only justices in this country that do not have any ethical guidelines, or whether it is literally that we just are bringing them in and we are going to have a little conversation with the justices, that comes from only the Senate. Or when we're talking about confirming justices, if we're going to expand the court.
Okay, so she supposedly graduated from law school. She's supposedly
she's smart.
Oh yeah,
she's smart. Acts dumb.
So here's the thing, though. No one has oversight over the Supreme Court.
No,
the Senate does not have oversight over the Supreme Court.
But she's running for Senate, and so this is her chance to talk about the Supreme Court.
Yeah. Now the Senate must confirm Supreme Court nominees.
Correct.
But confirmation is not oversight.
No. And here's the thing. She's playing upon the liberal, radical left painting of these Supreme Court judges, that if they're strict constructionists, if they're more conservative in how they're making a ruling, they're finding, well, that person's wife has been doing this. This person, he's making a talk or a speech, and he's saying this. And they're saying this is violation of ethics. And then she added the last part, which was really important. So this is the danger we have in 2026 and 2028. She's talking about expanding the number of seats on the U.S. Supreme Court. She wants to enlarge it so the next Democrat president can put in more judicial activists.
Yeah, exactly. Now, for those of you who think, well, we've got 9 members of the Supreme Court, that's not constitutional. That's statutory.
That's correct.
In fact, they're just, the Supreme Court, the members of the Supreme Court, when they started out, they had 6 members. And it's gone up to 9, 10, 11. It's stabilized at 9 since 1870, something like that. But there's nothing in the Constitution that limits that. Although I do think it wouldn't be a bad idea to introduce a constitutional amendment to limit to 9.
Yeah, it makes it more controllable.
Yeah.
And makes the voting make more sense. The more you have, really, the more chaos that you have.
And also, in terms of, FDR tried to pack the court.
Yes, he did.
And it failed because he didn't.
And Biden kept talking about packing the court.
Oh, he wants to pack the court.
Yeah.
And you know who he would pack the court with?
Yes.
Ketanji Brown Jackson.
That's right.
Right?
Oh, my gosh, yes.
And she's got to be the stupidest Supreme Court justice in history.
Again, ideologically driven.
Yeah.
She should know better, but boy, what she says and what she's doing just is embarrassing.
If I were to ever, it's funny, if I were to ever, when I get my law degree and start practicing law, it will be hilarious if I have a case before one of these federal district court judges.
Right.
Who are Obama appointed.
Yes.
I'm sure they'll go back to the tape. Mr. Leahy, let me hear the tape of what you said about me.
Yeah, right.
Now, Mr. Leahy.
You're disqualified.
They would probably hit me with contempt of court before I walked in.
Yeah, totally judged.
That's kind of funny. But, most kids actually in law school are probably very cautious about criticizing. I don't care, Yeah. Other news going on here. Stock market is turned a little bit negative. Oracle has pushed back several data centers for OpenAI until 2020. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah. But I think Oracle, from a standpoint of investing, is still an incredible play.
Oh, yeah.
Edelson, the owner, who happens to be a conservative, also is pretty smart in what he's doing. A little risky, but anybody who's been in the Oracle stock has made big money. Anybody who goes in, my personal opinion, it's probably one of the top 10 stocks that aren't more speculative to own.
This whole AI thing, it's inevitable. And yet, there's kind of interesting because apparently AI requires huge energy.
Oh,
data centers. And now, but it's controversial.
Yes.
Because do you want a big data center in your backyard?
Well, that's part of the controversy in Memphis. It's part of the controversy all over the United States. But these data centers and AI absorb so much electricity.
Yeah.
And that's why companies like Apple and Google, they're actually creating their own data centers for energy. And the fact is, this is something that's going to require nuclear energy.
Yep.
It's going to require other forms of energy and technology. But what it is, it's going to usher in the AI revolution that, to me, is a mega trend that's unstoppable.
It is unstoppable. And yeah, it's interesting because, electric rates will go up.
Right.
And middle-class people will be subsidizing.
Well, that is where it's wrong.
High-tech millionaires.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
The OpenAI, Grok, Gemini, and all the rest should absorb that cost and not pass it to the taxpayer.
I agree, but that issue is going to be a big one.
And that is the answer.
I don't want to subsidize AI.
No,
I'm happy
nobody
to use
should.
It,
yes,
I don't want to subsidize
and if you use, say, Grok, you're going to have to pay Grok to help pay for that electricity.
Good point. Craig Huey, a delight to have you here.
Great, Michael.
Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you have a great weekend. I'll be back Monday morning, 9 o'clock Central Time. Up next, we got Rob Carson. And don't forget our website, TennesseeStar.com. Oh, we're going to have a big surprise on Monday. Big surprise. There's a Christmas gift you may want to buy. Back after this.
This is State Senator Mark Pody. Government is limited to what it is supposed to do. One of the things that is critical that we're supposed to be working on is transportation. Here in Middle Tennessee, our roads need more help. As your state senator, we are focused on getting more money reoccurring without a new tax increase for our roads here in Tennessee. This is State Senator Mark Pody.
Paid for by Campaign for Mark Pody, Christina Hibden, Treasurer.
Hey there, it's Lenny McGill, founder and CEO of GlockStore.com. For over 30 years, I've supported our Second Amendment rights with GlockStore.com, the world's #1 source for Glock handguns, parts, and accessories. I also support accurate, unbiased journalism like The Michael Patrick Leahy Show. His team broke the Kilmar-Abrego Garcia traffic stop and was the first to obtain that video. Independent journalism at its finest. Visit us at GlockStore.com. Listen to Michael Patrick Leahy and make America great again.
FlatFeeNashville.com is a full-service real estate brokerage that charges homeowners a upfront flat fee of $999 to completely list, market, and sell your home. We are all about saving consumers money, saving that equity. Nobody should hire an agent and feel like when that agent walks in the door, that agent is more concerned about the down payment on their next Mercedes purchase versus saving the equity that those homeowners have worked hard for. I've spent my entire career in ensuring that the equity that people save and they put into their monthly mortgage every single month, as much of that as we possibly can goes back to them when they go to list and sell that home. The idea is to give homeowners the ability to really create generational wealth.
FlatFeeNashville.com, FlatFeeNashville.com.